Yo, 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 Nothing's Normal podcast. It's your host, Spitanks, back at you with another episode. Look, man, shout out to Easy, the block captain. This the original for me, the original algorithm ball. I've been watching this guy for a long time, since I was about 18, 19, tear the internet up, market itself, recreate itself, just really go crazy. So, you know, in the streets, you know, our legend list look a little different. So, you know, I just appreciate him for blessing the platform. But, you know, usually they sit to the left of me, but, you know, who I got sitting to the right, man?
Oh, man, you know I got to be on the right side, man.
Let's get it.
It's the top ock. It's the greatest hustler alive. It's your brother, Tone Trump.
For sure.
And I'm honored to be here, man. First of all, I want to come on your platform and salute you, man. And just, you know, I love to see you, somebody, you know, speaking to you off camera and knowing you come up, you know, in that underground and that street grind just like me, and seeing you adapt and seeing our people and our culture. We need y'all in these positions in media, because if it's not, it's somebody else telling our stories.
Absolutely.
And we seen with our ancestors, you know, we don't want, you know, our kids, you know, when they do movies on the mixtape era, the DVD era, they can make it where it's all like white boys and Asians in the movies or something.
Yeah,
we see what they do to the Egyptians.
Yeah,
so, you know,
sure.
when they talk about the pyramids. So it's important to have people like you in these positions. So
I appreciate that.
I encourage you to keep going, which I know you will, and I'm glad to be a part of this.
I appreciate it. Let me shake your hand one more time.
Let's win. Let's win.
Yo, 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 Nothing's Normal podcast. It's your host, Spanks. Are you tired of feeling overwhelmed when it comes to insurance? Do you want to focus on what matters most at home and in your business? Let me introduce you to ZRM Brokerage, a company that believes in making risk management your best investment. Founded by Daniel Guiney, they're providing expert risk management services with neighborly care since 2017. Over here at ZRM Brokerage, they operate off morals, honesty, integrity, loyalty. Somebody that's gonna keep it 100 with you, not just look for the dollar, you know? ZRM, which stands for Zara Risk Management, pays homage to the kindness and generosity of Daniel's grandfather, Joseph Zara. Their mission is simple: to empower you with the knowledge and tools to simplify the complex world of insurance. Now, they probably never taught you this in school, but life is all about resource. And Daniel Guiney, he's got a lot of that. He deals with top experts when it comes to insurance all over the globe. Now, if you're waiting for the accolades, trust me, we don't just walk it, he talks it as well. He's backed by an MBA from Iona University. He also has won the prestigious Millie Award from the Westchester Business Journal, y'all. Head over to www.westchesterhomeinsurance.com to get your free quote from ZRM Brokerage Insurance Company. Nothing's normal. Before we get into it, I want to just give out some
Shout out to
outs.
Easy too. That's my dog.
Shout out to Easy. That's one of my
But I'm
favorite battle
1,000% the
rappers.
original
You're
algorithm
the original
boy.
algorithm boy. You had that shit jumping. You know,
Believe
rest in
that.
peace, Q from Worldstar. We gonna get into it.
Yes, sir.
But you know, shout out to Ali, man. This connection. This was a 3-second conversation with him and I.
Yep.
When it's genuine, the time don't really matter. It was genuine from the rip. That's a good brother of mine. Shout out to Greenleaf. Shout out
For
to
sure.
Polymath. Shout out to the
For
gang.
sure.
But
For sure. Shout out to the Goat Lab. We in the Goat Lab right now.
for sure. Shout out to the
Shout out
Goat
to the
Lab.
whole Westchester, the whole New York. Like, this one of my homes out here.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
New York has embraced me for the last almost 2 decades.
Yeah.
And I've been coming out here low key. You know, Ali is my main producer,
sure.
really my only producer. Like, I work with a lot of producers, but when I say my producer, I'm talking about Ali, who I consider, like, you know, and for people that don't know, I've worked with some of the greatest artists in our generation, and he's by far in my top. I don't want to hype him up too much because he's getting a little cocky these days, but
turning red right
he's
now,
for
low-key.
sure in my top 3 of most gifted people I work with, and he's my brother in faith as well.
For sure.
So at the time when he came in my life, we recreated my sound and recreated the sound that a lot of people are, you know, adapting to and using, and we proud of that. So when people hear the music I do now for the last few years, from from us getting us going from getting millions of views to millions of streams, and going from selling millions of DVDs to, not a lot of people have transitioned like that.
Oh, not a lot of
And me working with, young talented people like Ali is what keeps me young and keeps me going and keeps me active in this generation. So shout to Ali the greatest.
Ali the
The
greatest.
whole GOAT Lab, the whole ATG, the whole Undeniable, the whole MDF.
For sure.
Believe that.
Now over here at Nothing's Normal,
Mm-hmm.
we got this saying, we don't like to start at page 50.
Mm-hmm.
We like to start at the beginning of the story because a lot of times, with social media and, you know, we like to glorify the triumphs and we don't shed any light on the trials.
Right.
And y'all stories could help, you know, the young generation skip a lot of steps on the way there because we dehumanize y'all as y'all grow.
Right.
Y'all go through some of the same things we go through and got similar stories. So with that being said, Tone Trump, man, where you from, man?
I'm from West Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
For sure.
To be exact, I'm from 54th and Market between Market and Arch. And you'll never meet somebody more proud to be from where they're from than me sitting on this couch. I am so proud to be from there. And like you said off camera, like if you can make it, if you can, you know, just staying alive out there is an accomplishment and, you know, surviving. And then to be able to survive and thrive and be a face, you know, for well over a decade, you know, from music, the movies, to the streets, the politics. I didn't really have anything to go by. The path I'm taking, it wasn't like, with all due respect to any other rapper y'all ever seen from Philly, you know, the spaces I'm in, I've never seen them do it. So it's not like I could say, oh, I watch Will Smith or I watch BC or whoever, you know what I mean? And I respect all those goats, but my path, I feel like, is different. And inshallah, God willing, it creates a path for thousands of young black Muslims and young black brothers from poverty in the streets to see like, yo, I could do this. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
I could do this.
West Philly.
The biggest.
Philly, period, is divided into sections. Y'all real geographical, but Philly as a whole, very prideful. Philly is no place. There's a lot of black culture in Philly.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot, you know, from the boxing to the food to the culture. It's just Philly is almost like y'all ex-Pennsylvania. It's just Philly.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
So
for sure.
For you, what was your experience like growing up in Philly as far as the household? Did you grow up with both parents, you know, auntie, uncle, grandma? What was your family dynamic like?
Umi, man, Umi, which is Umi means my mother.
For sure.
So Umi, my mother had me at 17 years old.
Wow.
And from that point on, you know, like, you know, Allah truly blessed me with the greatest mother you could ever want. And from the jump, you know, my mother didn't have much, but she did such a great job. I didn't know we was like struggling and poor really till I got older. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, even now, I think back at some things like my Umi was making miracles happen. And she, you know, a lot of the things that made me successful as Tone Trump, those morals and principles, like, you know, when people see some of the stances I take in politics in the streets and rap, you know, I learned from my mother.
For sure.
And, you know, growing up, you know, we grew up in places where it wasn't easy, man, like not having a big brother and stuff like that. So I had to fight, you know, my mother, you know, and I had sisters, you know what I'm saying? Right. So my sisters, you know, my older sister, my little sister Angel, and then my mother took in my sister Tracy is really my first cousin. Right, okay. But you know how black households is.
Absolutely.
My mother took it in, yeah, so she's my sister. And my sister was street. So my sister had moved with us from South Philly. And when she came in, she was the one, like, I'd be outside fighting, I coming out, she'd be like, what happened? Oh, I was fighting, and then, man, go back out there and fight again. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, on that, like, you know what I mean? Yeah. And if you don't go out there and win, I'm gonna beat you up. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, it was real for me, but I look at the things now that, you know, I fly all over the world and I'm able to live a great life, mashallah. And there's a lot of things that those black women was instilling in me and teaching me then. Not to beg, not to, you know, not to be, you know, kissing A and, you know, in Philly we say D eating, like, pause, like, you know what I mean? Not to do none of that. Like, those women was raising me to be a man. My mother told me at 9, you the man of the house.
That's crazy.
And I took that so serious, and I was an earner since then. I was a hustler since then. A lot of guys get in a rap and become their character. I was already everything that I, like, the stuff I was trying to be as a rapper, I was as a 9-year-old boy up until people saw me on mixtapes, DVDs, and movies and all of that. So that's why, so, you know, even whether you hate me or love me, you acknowledge, man, that's bull.
For sure.
You know, when people saw me in the movie, they was like, yo, that was just how you are. People felt like they knew me because they watched me kind of grow up on camera.
For sure.
You know?
Yeah. I noticed you said Umi. So I'll just assume there was no father in the household? It was just you.
No, man, like I be taking turns how I feel about speaking about him.
Of course.
But to use the word father is like, it's almost like, it's funny, my sons used to always be like, yo, like, who you, like, what's up with your dad? And I used to be like, I don't got no dad. And they would be so confused. And they would say their mind like, what do you mean by that? But, you know, as a Muslim, you know, we're taught to respect our parents regardless.
Right.
It doesn't say honor your parents if they're great parents. It doesn't say that. You know, in the Bible, the Quran, or the Torah, it's just honor your parents.
Yeah, for sure.
And so I'll try today to have some, you know, respect and say, you know, he wasn't there, but he helped give me life.
Of course.
You know, him and my uncle brought Islam to my family. He was a gifted musician. So I'm sitting here now with Tone Trump as a musician. So my father wasn't present with me growing up. And my mother was always walking. My mother was like trying to let my dad be around. She wanted him to be around. My mother to this day has never said a bad word about him.
Wow.
You know, you got, when you raising your children, like my mother never complained, nothing. So my father wasn't around, but he still did a lot. You know what I'm saying? By, you know, getting my own pregnant and having me. So it's like, you know, I get a lot from him whether I like it or not. Yeah. So no, he wasn't around and to give him no credit, but you still got to give him credit anyway as a parent. Yes, you know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Yeah, I just go to show you the power of just genetics. Like as much as you know, he wasn't physically there. Some things just happen naturally. He's in you.
That's so real, man. Bro, I watch things my children, you know, seeing Tone Trump and my 7-year-old son now. Like seeing, you know what I mean? Like I see all of those things and, you know, they embody things. They actually met my father for the first time, I want to say about like 2 years ago.
Wow. And I
was sitting on the couch and I'm looking at him like, you know, kick it with my pop for the first time. And that day when he came to see us, that was my first time seeing him in years. And then you got to think, like my children at that time was like, I want to say like 5 and 7. And my 2 youngest was with me and he came by my condo and seen them, and I was watching them be so happy with him, and I was just like, I'm gonna give them another chance for them.
Absolutely.
Like I don't need really nothing right now, but you know, my kids, you know, they pop up on their mom's side, so give them a chance. So to be honest, I haven't been aggressive in maintaining that, but inshallah, if Allah allows me to, you know, live long enough that we can, you know, somewhat make it right, because that's the beauty of my religion as well. Like I go back to what I said, it doesn't say honor my father if he's the greatest dad in the world. It says honor your father. And that's something I got to figure out as a king, as a leader, to bring him in that fold somehow for them, if nothing else, you know?
That's real. That's real.
For sure.
Yeah, that's dope.
And shout out to my sister Destiny. We beefing right now, but I mentioned my other 2 sisters earlier. That's my dad's daughter. I gotta shout my.
Oh, you got a sister?
She might see it. Yeah. She might see it. We be beefing because of how I don't be feeling my pop is part of it too. Because she grew up with him.
Okay,
you know what I mean? It's a little different joint.
Daughter, you know how that goes.
Yeah, I get it. So shout out to Destiny too.
Yeah, shout out to Destiny.
It's my sister.
What kind of student was Tone Trump coming up? You know, being raised by all those women. You strike me as like I was always big as a kid too. So, you know, people think just by being big and going to school that automatically puts you on a don't get tried zone. And if anything, you get tried more.
Well, you know what?
But how was that for you? How was the school system for Tone Trump, man?
Man, I was always like, mashallah, like I've always was popular.
Yeah.
But I got tried because I had a young mother, we moved around a lot.
Right, okay.
So I would be the new kid in the neighborhood. Yeah. I'm the light-skinned kid in the neighborhood. Like, you know, my mom was young and fly, so I'm coming in, you know, I was, you know, I always maintained, you know, like, you know, when kids wasn't allowed to get designs in their hair, I'm in school with the designs, like the hustlers.
Back in the day,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I was the light-skinned boy, so that gets you tested, it gets you favor, it gets you a lot of things, but a lot of the things that I deal with in the entertainment world, I was prepared for it because I was almost like a little entertainer, not knowing, being a class clown and, you know, being a new kid. You know, I went to schools where it's like, you know, going to, you know, I got kicked out of Catholic school real young. Yeah. So in Catholic school, I was the top dog, right? And then that year when I got kicked out, I had to go to this public school. I never forget, I had to go to James Rose, which was a block from where I grew up at. But like I said, in Catholic school, I'm the man. I'm the toughest. I'm the fat. All it. But now I got to go over here.
Who ball?
Right, who ball? And there's 100 of us. But I never forget, man. I walked into the class, Miss Kaufman class, and you know, back in the day, they would have the kid's name on the desk. And I looked at one of the desks, and it said Jamar Foster. That's my cousin. And he was like that. And I was like, oh, it's on in this joint. So shout to Mar. And he was like, what I was in the Catholic school, he was already that there.
For sure.
So that transition, because I ain't gonna lie, like at that age, you scared. You heard all these public school was almost like for where I was, it was almost like going to jail. Like it's like, so it's like,
shit was like,
we had the uniforms in Catholic school, and now you got right. But And this another thing. Let me give you this story when we talking about elementary school.
Of course.
Imagine this, because for one, when you say what type of student I was getting kicked out of school in 5th grade.
Yeah.
So that's
You was a
crazy.
nut.
Yeah, because when I think about it now, like my one of my sons is in 4th grade, and I'm looking at him like he distinguished honor roll and mashallah, but I'm like, what was I doing in 4th and 5th grade getting kicked out of schools?
That's
like
interesting. Yeah, I never got kicked
like
out
I'll
of school.
be thinking about like I
food fight or something for you.
I wish it was something that simple, man. It was like,
what you been doing?
like,
God damn.
but one thing I always think about is I'll never forget. You talk about traumatizing. When I was in 5th grade, they used to say over the loudspeaker at the public school, they used to tell the children, on your way home from school, do not walk through 49th and Hoop Street.
Okay.
Because of the dangers of it being a drug block, and at the time it was a war going on or whatever.
Yeah.
I lived, and this tattoo on my hand, a lot of people always ask what the 4933 was. When we was born, we lived on 4933 Hoop Street. So imagine as a child, you hearing, don't walk through this block from the loudspeaker, the PA system.
The school was telling you this.
The school telling you this, and it's the block you live on. Now,
I can't go home.
I had to go home.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? My block was popping, and like once again, those hustlers and everything that was like looked at like the bad guys, they was good guys to us.
Yeah, for sure.
They fed us. They protected us. Yeah, it was different. It wasn't like now. Like I remember them telling us like, yo, go in the house. You go in the house. You didn't question them. You go in the house and they pop, 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 pop. You like, yo. You know what I'm saying? But that era was different. And I love all them guys when I think back. Paddles pulling up in a 740 Volvo Burgundy with the peanut butter seats, Brock in the Benz. Little Mike was like, I remember I was in like 4th grade. Mike come through. Mike came through in a red Mickey T Jeep. Like, the Mickey T Jeep is like the Jeep G Money in them was in New Jack City with the top ball. Imagine this nigga like 15 coming through the little block. He is a kid. And y'all telling me go to school and all this. I'm like, nah. Everybody at school to school.
With Mike.
I want to get up with Mike
Yeah,
in the, you know what I'm saying? Because in that neighborhood, the people that got their high school diplomas and went to work and all that stuff like that, bro, they was all miserable.
They was pop.
Bro.
They coming back from work.
They coming back like mad. They waiting for the bus. Mikey 15 ride by.
Splash and puddles.
Tone, get in.
Yeah.
I'm jumping. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so, but to be transparent, Mike was killed young. Brock with the Benz was killed young.
Damn, rest in peace.
You know what I mean? Paddles, is good, but like I remember, shout to Malik Hood. Malik Hood still locked up for something he didn't do, but he's from that era where you keep your mouth shut.
Right.
Free Malik Hood. People will hear me mention him in my songs, and but you took me back with that.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
Shout out to the whole 49th and Hoops, the whole West Philly. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, growing up in school, man, I was like a little terror, to be honest. But I always was intelligent. Even when I got into rap, my first interview, Lady B, a legend, she was like, wow, you could talk. My mother was an educator. My mother was a teacher.
Okay, wow.
So I would be in school acting all up,
Right.
but I was always smart. You know what I'm saying? So that was me as a youngin'.
Did you finish high school?
I didn't, man. I got kicked out of high schools.
Okay.
I got kicked out of a couple high schools.
Right.
And then I got court appointed, and they had sent me to this placement in West Virginia. Like it was like one of them joints where I was like 17 and it was like, county jail or you go here.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm going there. And I went there and got kicked out of that gym.
You got kicked out the placement?
I got kicked out of placement. but crazy thing
So
is
this
like,
DVD shit, this was just regular. This is just regular tone.
yeah, like that's what I said. Like the transition from when
right.
people saw the quote unquote wild song Trump, I probably was calming down. But like I had went to placement and all my life, man, Allah just showed me mercy, man. Like I never forget it. It was this day that they used to call them REs. They was like kind of like the security for like your dorms.
Yeah.
And they called me in one day. This Charleston, West Virginia. I'm out there joint tearing it up, bro. I'm out there joint acting like I'm paid in full or something. I'm thinking I'm JBM. I'm out there hustling, trapping. I'm doing everything but the school and the program that you're supposed to be doing.
Absolutely.
I'm out there living like a grown man. Yeah, I'm out there having it. He comes and pulls me in his office one day. He said, come here. He said, the police came in here, West Virginia police. They about to pretty much put everything in this town on you.
And the whole
Like stuff I had nothing to do with. Like they just was like, they ain't like me. I was up there doing like implement Islam.
Damn.
Like I got them boys up there taking Shahada. I'm talking about in Charleston, West Virginia. They like, oh hell no. So he gave me a heads up.
Malcolm X.
He basically was like, you need to go AWOL.
Yeah, get out of here.
Which he not really supposed to do that. He got me a Greyhound ticket. I'm talking about, bro, no exaggeration. Wallahi, they was at the Greyhound joint crying. Like I had to get out of that joint. I left, got on that Greyhound bus, never looked back. But he spared me because they would have cuffed me.
Yeah.
Who knows what had happened at that time in my life?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So he gave me that warning. I pushed back to the city. course, is so disappointed. She was just like, you got kicked out of.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I didn't really get kicked out, but I was about to go to jail.
Shout out to him, though, because I think he's seen your potential even then. Like, you revolutionized the whole town.
He did, man.
Yeah,
shout to Mr. Schaefer, man.
Yeah,
he used to pull me to the side. He used to always pull me to the side, like I'd be with my little squad or whatever, and he'd be like, yo, what's up with you, man? He would tell me, like, you different.
Yeah, you could.
It's like you trying to be something. Like, and I'm like, no, man, I'm just, you know what I mean? And a lot of that, you know, when you're older now, you look at it, that's why the father in the house is so important.
Absolutely.
As much love as my mother applied, it was my mother really couldn't grip me up and be like, you know, I was her baby.
Yeah.
I'm the only boy. My mom, I don't have she wasn't giving me beatings and all of that. So it was like I was having to learn the hard way.
Yeah.
And I always thought I was smarter than everybody, you know what I mean? But shout to him, man, and just everybody that along this journey, I be forgetting sometimes to shout these people out, but anything you ever seen me do major, you know, people always try to take all the credit like I'm self-made. No, man. I thank Allah for his mercy and all the people that come along my journey from birth, from the doctor who helped my mom deliver me, up into the teachers who kicked me out of school, up into, you know, from Catholic school. Bro, I went to Catholic school, public school, Christian school, alternative school, military school. I got kicked out of every single joint you can go to, bro.
Christ. They ain't evaluated or nothing? Like, there's something wrong.
No, they knew I wasn't, because it wasn't like I wasn't like setting fires and stuff. I was like always just like organizing, like starting little gangs and all. Yeah, like it was like,
oh no, we gotta get
it was
him
like,
out
what
of
is he
here.
doing? Like I would like, you know, like I would just be on all nut shit, to be honest. But I'm here now, man.
You here? You made it. Before we get into your music career, was there anything else you strived to be when you was a kid? Like, I know when I was a kid, I wanted to be a veterinarian. But I was like, yeah, I wanted to be a veterinarian. I used Animal Planet born alone.
You should still do that. Just because that was your, if I was you, if I could give you some game, just to have that under your jaw, you should take some type of course for that, bro. Like, because that's hard. And I would have never thought you would say that. So I salute you on that. But for me, I hate to be stereotypical, but I was typical little black boy in my hood, man. I looked up the drug dealers. I looked up the athletes. And I won't lie, I didn't really, as a kid, rappers was corny to us. Yeah. We ain't really look up the rappers like they was cornballs. Like the rappers in Philly was more like, and when I was a kid, it was like the Roots type vibe, like backpack, like MCs. And they wasn't corny, don't get me wrong, but they wasn't attractive to guys that was so caught up in the glitz and glamour of the streets. That's why when Major Figures and State Property broke, it was more relevant to what we thought was cool, you know. So yeah, but yes, I was trying, man. I was more so looking up to the hustlers. Like I told, like the guys I mentioned, like when you in 5th grade and you seeing these Benzes and these Saabs and these Volvo and these cars. You know what I'm saying? Those are the people who I'm like, I'm seeing that's who the girls like, that's who the people respect, that's who the people fear, and you know was attractive to me as a kid.
And now that you say that.
But now at my age, I would tell kids to look up to the veterinarians, the scientists, the engineers, you know, stuff like that.
We got to revise the cool table.
Believe that.
Because I feel like.
I like that too.
Yeah, for sure.
We got to do that for sure.
I coach it, like the rappers, y'all get a lot of bad rap for like influencing. A lot of our influences.
Some of it we deserve though,
Some of y'all deserve, absolutely. It's all entertainment.
Matter of fact, a lot of it we deserve. You know
At the same time though, I feel like y'all get criticized for shit that start in the household. Like you said, you ain't had that man's hand. A man's hand is just different, not even in the physical form. Just discipline. A man's voice project different. So if there's none of that, you're gonna be forced to be outside, and you're gonna look up to that anyway, because that's just what attracts us anyway. But it's like you said, man, and this is important. You need to coin that. Yeah. Revise the cool table. Sure. Revise the cool table. We need our kids. We need our babies. You know, it's like I could be in the car and my son would be watching YouTube and I hear something. I'm like, yo, what is you watching? Yeah. And he know right away that means go to something else. That's it. You know what I mean? I hear one little thing in that joint. I'm like, what is that? What do you want? You know, he could just be on TikTok and it's going quick. And sometimes they not even comprehending, but we have to be very careful what they watching and what they are deeming cool. You know? Yeah. Music, man. Music. What coined your path, not coined, but what made you get into music? And what was that moment for you when you realized you was gonna make music your career? When I first heard of you, it wasn't just music. You come from, like I said, the DVD era. I had Shot 4. We Run the Streets. I remember you running around. We don't get into it.
Sub-Zero.
Sub-Zero. I peeped you.
You from New York.
You know what it is?
Not say
Sub-Zero.
Shout out to Deep Freeze, my brother.
Was on one thing, like I said, you was on a little DVD tour. You was everywhere. You was beating the East Coast up.
Yep.
But as far as music, what was your introduction into that?
For me, man, I always try to give credit to Philadelphia. But I'm at the point in my career now where, man, I don't be always wanting to shout out guys who won't shout me out. You know what I mean? Because I've always been one hand watch the other, one, you know, both watch the face. And there's a lot of Philly artists who I used to consider legends who now is like, man, I don't, you know, they've done things in the last few years. You know, you got guys who I used to look up to who now, like, comfortable being around rats and stuff like that. So it's like, I'll be honest, man, I don't really like to do that no more. And this is the first interview I'm saying this in, but it's like, you know, going back to revising the cool table. A lot of them guys I thought was cool and stuff, they not cool to me no more. So I don't want to say their names on platforms, but I was always inspired by, like, you know, artists from Philadelphia. For
sure.
You know, so even though I don't want to say anything good about anybody right now, I don't want to say anything bad either. But the Philadelphia music scene was always inspirational to me, you know. But, you know, we revising the cool table. For sure. For sure.
I appreciate that. That was tough.
Yeah.
Speaking of the DVDs, you just said, like I said, you don't got to.
And I can't resist. Plus, a lot of them dudes are suckers, man. So it's like, but go ahead. I was trying to be politically correct. Because
listen,
they punks, man. Like, and it's like, I don't want to sit here like I'm just all like, oh, Mr. P. Like, no. Sure. I still am me, and I still
tone 52nd and Market running down on
like
drunk niggas acting crazy.
I ain't doing that no more. I ain't doing that no more.
Acting, yo, what's up?
Don't bring that up. I ain't doing that no more.
I say that parcel.
He did his homework.
This ain't even my homework. This was my life.
Right.
This is what we grew up.
Yo,
watching.
do you know that years later I found that guy though, and like I did. We made a whole video together. It's crazy. You know how Good News never. You see how you never saw it. I didn't heard it.
I just remember you ran right down, all the pants down.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Everybody saw that.
Yeah, everybody.
But random as could be, y'all. I met this guy like years later, and it was crazy. It was like almost the same scenario. He was trying to rap to me again, and like 4 bars in, I'm like, wait, this is the guy.
You know what?
And we talked, man, and we made a video, man. It's like that joint, the one when I beat on him, pause. Yeah. That joint went viral.
Super.
The joint when I was like next to him, like, hey man, this brother right here, we black man, we da-da-da. Man, ain't nobody ever see that joint, man.
I never saw that.
Nobody did, man.
You know how,
that's how it be.
Bank said negativity spread faster, man.
That's how it that's how it be.
Especially our culture.
But that's an important part of my journey as well. For, as a Muslim, like people see, like, let me tell you something about being Muslim. It's a difference between just a Muslim and a praying Muslim.
Okay.
So back then, I was Muslim. I was Abdul Salam, Salam Alaikum. I had my kufi sometimes, my pants up, and I wear thobe Fridays and stuff. But I wasn't, waking up for Fajr every day sincerely. I wasn't scared when I missed Salat. So a lot of the actions I was doing then now, Beanie Siegel had a line back then. He said, I'm Muslim, but I act kafir, which is a non-believer. You know what I mean? So it's like you Muslim in name and in religion, but the way I was carrying myself at that time was of a street nigga, was of a gangster, really of a wannabe. Because when I look at it now, that's not who I am. That's not who. It's a part of me, but it became, in becoming Tone Trump. Some of that shit I was doing on camera and stuff like that was also feeding me. Me seeing 50 and them guys like, oh, that's what you gotta do to win? Yeah. Oh, I'm on it. You know what I'm saying? But when I look back now, it's like, man, bro, do you think I want my 7-year-old Abdul Jalil showing me? And my kids love to show me bullshit.
So, hey, Dad,
so it's like,
what you telling me? You was just
right. Yeah. So it's like, when I look at it now, it's like, and I credit, that's why it's important to have a good woman in your life too, because a good woman gonna be like, that's nut shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's not cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm glad you brought that up.
For sure.
Just to pivot into that. I feel like we do everything as men, not all of us, for women. I feel like we need more women pulling dudes up when dudes is doing whack stuff like pillow talking. If a woman was to tell a man in the middle of him pillow talking about another nigga, you hating on that. You might catch a domestic. You might get knocked out in the process. But
we don't want that. We don't want that.
We're not condoning that. But you need more women putting men in their place for doing sucker shit.
Well,
they do it for the women.
No, you know what it is? No, there are women that's doing that, and those are the great women. Those are the women that's getting married. Those are the women that's traveling the world. Those are the women that's starting their own businesses. Those are the true queens.
Yeah.
And just like women need time to grow, so men need time to grow, so do women. Because there's girls that when we was 14 was the little neighborhood whatevers that's now on Instagram. You know, I just bought another house. You know what I mean? So right. So it's like, shout out to the queens. They doing their thing, and when to be honest, even in Islam, I always bring it back to Islam.
For sure.
The foundation, being married is half your deen.
Wow.
So think about that. God ordained that to be half. 50% of your deen.
That's a lot.
Is to be married. That's almost all of it. So when you think about he could have said that's 5% of your deen. So for him to say half of your deen is being married, that shows you the importance of a good woman. A good woman to rear your children, to check you, like you said, like, you know what I'm saying? Yo, my woman don't approve of no nut stuff. Yeah. Like that, if she was here and I when you asked me about the Philly artists and I was like, man, I don't punks, she would have been over there, she would have been texting me, stop, baby. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, chill. Where a woman who's not like that would have been thinking that shit cute. Yeah. Ooh. And I might have showed off more, like, so-and-so's a straight fucker. Right.
So my DM, look.
Facts. So it's just important, you know what I mean? Be wise about who you choose, man. Brothers that's watching this that don't have children yet, I know, man. I've been there. I know how good it look and you want, but be so precious. Like the way we teach women to guard your private parts, we gotta start teaching. Like, look at my sons. Like, every chick don't deserve you, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I look at certain women, like not even just sex, but it's like a woman could text your phone and you be like, how she even get my number? Yeah. It's okay to feel that way.
For women.
And women, we always say that to women, but men as kings, we got to start being like, I'm not hitting that.
Raise your
I'm
price.
Not sleeping with you. I'm not bringing you to my home. I'm not running around with you. I don't want to be on your Instagram.
For sure.
Like, you got to start, you know, valuing your body and be mindful of the spirit you allow in. You know, from the great BBDs, you know, don't trust the big button to smile.
For sure.
That song was called Poison for a reason. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we got to, and like, you know, I come up in the K-Slay straight stunting and, you know, much love and respect for all the queens from modeling and video vixens and stuff and the strippers. Like, I grew up in a culture where, that was part of my lifestyle. But it's like, you know, and a lot of those women grew from that and I'm sure they look back at some of them like, I was bugging. And so do I. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. When you talk about marketing for a second, because like I said, when it comes to Philly, I feel like
we talking marketing when it comes to anywhere, but go ahead. No, I'm sorry.
For sure. But as far as, like I said, because you come from Philly and you kind of blossomed past a lot of artists who had started their careers before you. Like, we're not gonna name no names, but like I said, you got the throwback, Too Raw from the street, all them DVDs from back then. And when you came, you had a whole strategy. You was on every major site out, all flamers, hot new hip hop, that Piff, Worldstar, YouTube, before YouTube was even really
every single.
Was that tactical or was that
even that coward, that bozo DJ Vlad? I was doing Vlad TV. I was doing Vlad TV, and it's when nobody even knew what Vlad TV was.
You was doing Vlad interviews outside. That's when I'm like outside the buildings and shit like that. Some vlogging type shit. You had Vlad on that type time.
And then, you know, when people talk about Worldstar, one of the things people don't know is the name Worldstar Tony came from Q. It wasn't like I didn't just be like World, even though everybody was just ignoring. People used to think I owned Worldstar at one point.
You was on that joint.
It was like, yo, what is the plug? Because at that time, you supposed
to roll the toilet paper, you on Worldstar, like,
right? And at that time, it was like $1,000, $1,500 just to get a box on that joint. And they like, Trump is on this joint 3-4 times a week.
You had the sponsor, or they was how that was working?
To be honest, man, the first time I was on Worldstar, man, this rapper from Philly, he a rat now. He wasn't a rat then, so I ain't gonna say his name, but. Yeah. This rapper from Philly, he had called me and was like, he was like, yo, he do tell me over here. He called me, he said, yo, you on Worldstar? And I literally said, what's Worldstar? You know what I'm saying? I didn't even know what Worldstar was, right?
Yeah.
And he was like, yo, and my first video was some beef stuff. I was dissing somebody, right? I didn't even know the person. Like, I did a DVD with these boys from Baltimore. Shout out to Baltimore. So that joint sold 10,000 copies. You know, I was on the cover, so of course it did. But it was a ghetto gold back then. But they was on the way to go interview somebody else, and they was like, yo, we interviewing so and so. and so-and-so just did so-and-so from Philly. And it's crazy because that person that they was dissing from Philly, I went to his defense. He is sucking now too, but I ain't gonna say his name.
I know
either.
exactly. I
He
remember
not
that.
a rap, but he a lame. But
that was funny though.
I gotta be positive, man.
Keep it 100 though.
Love to everybody, but this guy from Baltimore says, "Yo, we about to go interview so and so, and he dissing so and so." So I said, "Man, we was done the whole interview." I said, "Man, put the camera back on."
Yeah.
I said, "Yo, so and so, man, I'm going
you
off on the
Philly,
person." That joint went viral.
Yeah.
And it was so funny because that artist and his people was like, they was reaching out like, "Yo, man, we rock with Trump. What is he talking about?"
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But that was the first video on Worldstar, and then I think I kind of like, I don't know if I like, because it wasn't no DMs back then. Some way I was
MySpace.
like, yeah, MySpace.
It's MySpace, guys.
It's MySpace. So I must have hit somebody. I ran MySpace.
Yeah, you was running it. That's what I'm saying.
How many people that ran MySpace? Is that a white boy over there?
Yeah, that's a white boy. That's Tom right there.
Shout out to
MySpace, actually.
Oh, that is Tom.
Yeah.
He looked like Tom. Yo, we got a white boy in the building.
Yeah,
we got light in. Y'all know it's big move. Shout out to, what's his name?
Alex.
Shout out to Alex. But Alex, I want to say this to Alex. Alex, think about this. I was dominating MySpace to the point in 2009, I actually won the MySpace Artist of the Year award in 2009. And I'm able to come in 2023 out here in Westchester and I can talk about things I'm doing now.
Absolutely, still relevant.
Man, as a black man, bigger than being relevant, just being alive. You feel me, bro?
Definitely.
You talking to a brother who survived and thrived in a section of Philly. You know, the Philadelphia Weekly once called my strip Death Row. I survived and thrived. To this day, I go out there to this day, feed my people from being Donald Trump.
Definitely.
I go out there to this day and take care of my people. To this day, squash real beefs. Now, no rapper stuff.
Yeah, nah.
I'm talking about hitter, and I get on the phone with Bull, please, for me, Shaw, look, we must... for you, bro, to this day, not because they fear me,
for sure,
you know, and I take pride in that. But I had hit somebody from Worldstar, and they basically was like, "Yo, man, like, yo, whatever they said back," and I was just like, "Yo, I'm gonna just start sending y'all." I wasn't even sending them videos. I would just like post on like MySpace, and people would take the videos, and it grew into a relationship. And then one year on Twitter, Q had put "Happy Birthday to Worldstar Tony." It was my birthday.
Wow.
And everybody was like hitting me like, "Yo, that's the boy that own World." I go right at him like, "Yo, what's up, homie? Yo, much love." And he didn't, at the time, he wasn't the one uploading the videos, but he told me, he was like, "Yo, I got to post this DM one day." And in so many words, he said, "You'll never pay to be up here, man. I got you." And man, I love him, man. Like, he played a big part because at that time, I was getting a lot of buzz, but I was being heavily blackballed. I will say this name. It was a DJ in Philly who to this day is still, he dominates Philly radio. It's a cornball named DJ Cosmic Kev.
I was going to say, I didn't want to say it. And then you were talking about QDZ. And it was this one. I didn't want to...
QDZ a good dude. I got love. Shout out to QDZ.
Yeah, Cali or something like that.
Yeah, but his man Cosmic Kev is a bozo. But he a legend too.
Yeah, he definitely.
Yeah, so you know, a legendary bozo.
Yeah.
So yeah,
politics. That shit's political. You fell out of the line of the politics.
Yeah, I wasn't. I didn't
at that time.
Yeah, I never. Even to this day, bro, I get in trouble because I don't want to play them political games, and you know what I mean. And I'm learning because you have to in order for me to fully help my people and firstly help my family. Because charity starts at home. You know what I mean? I can't be out there feeding the poor and my family ain't straight. You know, so
family and family can't do that.
That's right. So I try to keep it positive, but certain people, you gotta be honest too. You know, my fans and your fans, they want transparency.
Conflict is part of life, right?
Right. So when you say that, but I was literally on, I feel like every single website, and even think about that. When you go back to me in 2009, being on all them sites, and I'm still in 2023, I'm on the radar. You know, I'm on TMZ.
Tape coming out.
I'm on Fox. I'm on, you know, this is, you know, still
today.
Never had a manager. Never had a publicist. Never played the, you know, kissing A, sucking D game with these cornball rappers. I always was aggressive, always was in the streets, always was in the mix. I was coming to New York. I was going to them clubs people in New York wouldn't go to.
You had a heavy Brooklyn. You was heavy. You done been through with some New York artists. You did beef with the whole East Coast.
In real life.
In real life. I remember you.
Real situations. Real situations.
It was pulling up in NY for sure. You was up there.
And still, you know, and people, that's one thing
before
people don't say.
Artists.
And people won't say that because now now everybody just comes to New York and all that. No, man, I was in them Bronx clubs back then where you didn't get checked to get in. You know what I mean? I was in them Case-Lake, Big Jean Dill at the door, a Sue's Rendezvous. I'm in Sue's when Cardi B first starting.
She in there.
First starting. I'm in Sue's when when me and Black China in there hosting together when nobody don't know who Black China is.
Yeah.
I was on the cover of Straight Stuntin' issue 14. I was the first unsigned artist. Before I was on that Straight Stuntin' magazine cover,
Talk heavy.
It was 50, Buster, all the multi-platinum guys. I was the first artist in the streets with the red Philly hat on, shot it on the rooftop in the Bronx with Frank D'Antonio, went platinum in the prisons. The first time Sub-Zero DVD made it on the top in Don Diva's sales when Don Diva put the top selling Jones. It's me on the cover by myself. One of the first covers with somebody by themselves. Yeah. So yeah, let the record reflect. I'm the biggest and still here.
So it sounds like it almost happened by accident. You just being yourself. Somebody caught you on camera. You posting videos on MySpace, and you know what I'm saying. It was strategic. It was strategic though, because everything. First of all, I bring it back to Islam. It's the cutter, which means it was already written and ordained. Okay. So it's like even like when you say like our interview came together so quick or whatever. No, that was our interview. Our interview was written for us to happen 1,400 years ago. We just didn't know it. Like, you know, like what I'm doing tomorrow, when you say, like, how long you going to be in New York? I don't know, bro, because tomorrow, like, once I post I'm in New York, my phone going to ring. Oh, for sure.
And somebody going to say, yo, bro, can you come to, you know, I might go to Double XL. Right, you know what I mean? And I'm here with y'all. So it's like, you know, I trust the cutter. So nothing was by accident. And when you Google, you didn't bring this up yet. When you Google, white boy, do this real quick. I want you to Google Greatest Hustler Alive. And when you Google Greatest Hustler Alive and Tune Trump comes up, you can't pay for that. You can't fake that. Yeah. Greatest Hustler Alive. You said his name really Tom?
His name's Alex.
Alex.
But we just, you know, Tom from MySpace, you know, he's the one friend.
Fuck that. He Tom.
He Tom.
Hey, Alex, you Tom forever. When I come here, you Tom.
That's my brother.
Yeah, that's my
not
bro.
My brother. That's brother.
Yeah, I mean, we gonna call you Big Tom. Yeah, I mean. That's your West Philly that's your West Philly attribute, your nickname.
You go to Max's, tell him I'm Tom.
Big Tom, what comes up when you hit Greatest Hustler Alive? Like, that's incredible.
Damn.
The Greatest Hustler Alive. Yeah. So it's not by accident. Yeah, that's hustle, crazy. Blood, sweat, and prayers. Nobody has worked like me.
All right, we're gonna take a break from today's show and talk about some beef jerky. Righteous Felon Craft Jerky, man. Looking for a nice healthy snack packed with protein? Get you some packages of this. We got the Truffalo Bill. I didn't try this one yet, but it says a potent pioneer of American flavor frontier. Wow, that sounds scary. Righteous Felon, I don't even know if one of those exists, but according to the package, it does. We have the Bourbon Franklin. An American dream of bourbon and vanilla bean. Ooh, a little sweet, huh? Check out the OG Hickory Beef Stick. Savory and smoky beef stick. Hey, ladies, relax. I'm reading the flavor off a song. Don't melt on camera, man. This ain't 50 Shades of Grey. We got, y'all know about this already, the Teriyaki Balboa. This is actually my favorite one for obvious reasons. Bull, y'all know my history with the bull. And y'all know my history with the boxing gloves, but tangy teriyaki with a punch of pepper. And then finally, we have the lemon pepper and citrus basil beef stick. Hey, get your beef sticks. And they even got merch now too, man. Look, check them out. The Good Teriyaki Balboa. It has this nice jail scripture on the back. Maybe I'll read it to you one day. You know, I'm off probation, so hats. I would try it on, but I got a funny shaped head. You're not about to be on here grinding me up. Righteous Felon hats. Y'all might make me my file that's expunged. It might not be expunged if I put the hat on. Different colors. You can reach them at www.righteousfelon.com. And over here at Nothing's Normal, we are under the Polymath Network. So luckily for you, you know us, you get a discount. Use promo code POLY15. www.righteousfelon.com, promo code POLY15. Yeah.
I was in Miami at a nightclub, bro. It's like 2010. I'm in a white Bentley Spur. Yeah, I'm out there stunting. I leave the club. Wallahi, I'm leaving the club and there's a group of dudes over there, big old beards. They looking like they from Philly, but I could tell. At that time, a beard was automatically from Philly.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, I don't even think, I don't feel like Ross was out yet. And these boys looked over and they was like, they said something to me that made me know they knew who I was. And I'm like, yo, what's up? I'm like, you know, I get on my defensive joint, you know, I'm icy and everything. Absolutely. And they like, no, we rock with you, bro. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, what y'all got? And the boy said, yeah, we Zopan.
Okay, yeah.
It's like 09.
Yeah.
They said, man, we got a studio, man. Why don't you come through? This after the club. This
Yeah.
1 something in the morning,
Yeah.
2 in the morning. Miami.
I saw the video.
I'm in a
on
white
MySpace.
Bentley Spur.
Mm-hmm.
I told Wolf, get in. Wolf,
Yeah.
I called, at the time I was with Steve Morales. He's a multi-platinum producer. He had me out there, a production deal with him. I called him, I said, yo, man, this Old-Pound niggas just invited me to the studio. He said, yo, get home. No, you can't go there. You got my car out there. I said, yo, man, they invited me, bro. I gotta go, man. I gotta at least show my face.
Right.
I pulled up there like 2 in the morning. Them niggas, when I called inside, I'm outside, niggas was like, yeah, right.
Nah.
No security, no nothing. And not because I thought I was so tough, not because I didn't hear so much about them. That dream I had, that passion I had, bro, to want to come home and say I won. Come home and tell my mother we did it. To come home and tell my block we did it. I went to that studio, but that was a design of my passion. And then the very next day, I went to Little Haiti with him. I'm out there on 54th, and I'm, Bentley.
That's real.
Chains on. I'm out there with the Colonel. I'm out there with Blind. I'm out there with the same people that was on the legendary Gangland episode, and they ain't break nobody with me. You know what I'm saying? And I did that everywhere.
Yeah,
I went to Bompton. I'm out there when you see people go out there and they just be out there like tourists. No, I'm out there. I'm at Game Mode Crib. I'm on Brazil and Wilmington with Big Phase, with New Jersey Devil, with the men. You know what I'm saying? With the men.
Sturdy.
And that's everywhere, bro. When I went to Houston, Trey the Truth will tell you, years ago, I was by myself. Trey, when it's time to leave, Trey was like, wait, I'm like, he dropped me off. He watching me go. I said, yo, I'm good. He said, no, he watching me. It's Trey the Truth. Y'all all know Trey the Truth now.
Of course we do.
Y'all ain't know Trey the Truth back then when I was in Houston in the Low Club with Trey.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When he was being blackballed and all that. I was out there with, you know what I'm saying? So, and this is when my first show in Chicago, when I pull up and Strike Money come to my tour bus and put a bulletproof vest on me. And they instructed me on how to wear your hat, because this way mean, all the gang culture and all that. And I'm like, man, I'm from Philly, man. You know what I'm saying? When I'm in the 60s, I was out there, when everybody go take the picture with the Nipsey mural, I'm out there with Big U. You got shot out there?
Yeah.
I did.
Fuck out of here.
Shout out to Jay Stone. When we talk about the 60s, I got to shout Jay Stone. He got a new album out, and he's on our new album. That's right.
Sure. Let's get it.
Got a record, Westside, produced by Ali the Greatest with Jay Stone. And make sure y'all go get Stone new album. And by the time y'all hear this, make sure y'all go get that Still Striving.
For sure.
Top Octone
Shout
Trump.
Out to my bro Rats, the Strivers. We gonna get into it.
Believe that.
Wow, you just said a lot.
No, real rap. But when I say global, never local, man, I mean that, man. I'm talking about and beyond that, because everybody can say, well, I've been to Lower Haiti, or I've been to Bompton, or I've been to Chirac. Yeah, I also been to Wajir, Kenya, third world country. That last time I went there, I challenged the organization who I helped raise millions of dollars, who I didn't like the way they was treating my people in Africa. So I went back for a fact-finding trip where I literally risked my life, my freedom, to make sure that they was doing right by these people in Africa. In a third world country, I'm talking about a place where it's like you can't even imagine. You think about the worst part of New York, the worst part of Philly, the worst part of LA and Chicago, you put them all together and it's nothing compared to where I was at. People literally, it's people that I met who they had a famine out there that was so dry and so bad that whole families died. All they livestock, which is their animals, how they survive and eat, died. The same people who was hugging me 8 months ago. I'm like, where's so-and-so? They like, they died. Imagine that. Not no gun violence, not no gang shit.
Traumatizing.
Just dying from not having no water.
That's crazy. That's a painful death.
Man, I'm watching. Bro, it's people out there that's blind, right? One of the things we raise money for is cataract surgeries. Cataract is when it's a phlegm that grows over their eyes, which basically blinds them. So it's almost like for lack of a better term, and I say this with no disrespect, but it's almost like having a glob of snot covering your eyelid. The surgery to fix it is only $100. And not even most of them, none of them can afford it. So imagine there's people out there that got it in both eyes. So imagine if it's the father and now he can't farm, he can't go out. So now the family just starves and dies for $100 surgery. The hearing aids are $60. Children out there who can't hear their mother call their name for $60.
That's heartbreaking.
It's heartbreaking.
I hate shit like that. I hate even hearing about that. But it happens, real shit.
But guess what? When I was out there with them people, they were the most grateful, most polite, most faithful. These people, when it was time to pray, I would watch these kids run to this one little water fountain, make wudu, which we clean off before we pray. They're smiling. Nobody was sucking their teeth.
Yeah.
Nobody was ice grilling. Nobody was sizing me up to rob me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
It was all, it's kids out there that I've been knowing now. I've been going there since 2019. I call them my babies, right?
Sure.
There's babies out there that can't speak. My first couple trips, they couldn't speak no English. They take me by the school my last trip, and these kids is reading to me in English. Do you know how that felt to me, bro? Like, to see them read to me, like, I was like,
it's $1 billion feeling.
It's $1 billion. Because some of them, you know how quick kids grow. So imagine this little girls I met at 7, they 10 or 11 now. You know what I'm saying? The first time they met me, they was like looking at me like I was like they never seen sleeve, tattoo sleeve. They looking at me like,
fascinating.
Yeah, they literally like walking up to me like what?
Yeah.
And you know, they can't understand me. I can't. But the love, we talking through smiles. You know what I mean? And bro, not exaggerating. None of these people was like negative. None of these people was like beat. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It was humility.
It's humility, man.
That is
love,
finest.
Man.
Humility.
It's love.
That's crazy. That's real.
Shout out to the top skunk, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, shout out to the skunk, man. He just came in with the
Uber
Eats and all that.
No, there ain't no Uber Eats. That's that halal Chinese. You know, we only eat
halal.
halal.
Get that.
We only eat halal. Shout out to the top skunk, man.
Yeah, shout out to him. Do you credit like your path if you could have had it any other way? Because you had a hard road, like as far as the light, and that's one of my biggest, I'm not gonna say fears, but something I'm worried about as far as feeling like you gotta, once you get to that light, when people start publicly disrespecting you, you feel like you gotta address it. And it just make your road that much harder. Like you gotta wake up and it might be 15 tone Trump this interviews or this, or
I've been through it.
People you've been through all
I still
of it.
I still go through it
But
to an extent.
I just feel like you really, but you went through it like big time.
Yeah.
You could have had it any other way. Do you feel like that played into the toughness of your exterior and your interior? Like, is your mental fortitude made you stronger? Or do you feel like more like, you hear this term, Philly support Philly, do you wish it was more like that? But Philly's more like crabs in a barrel. It's not, from outside looking in, it don't look like it's support.
But where do it look like that at?
Nowhere.
People always like be like,
you don't hear New York support New York.
Yeah, like
y'all patented that.
Yeah, like I feel like people like attack us a lot about that. I feel like where there's poverty, there's beef, there's drama, there's negativity.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you never hear about niggas in Calabasas dissing each other.
Yeah.
You don't hear about people in Dubai doing diss records. You know why? Because they thriving, they living, they loving life. So when you have poverty, and that crab in a barrel mentality comes from people that are just so poor and struggling. Like, you know, when I'm doing really, really well, bro, shit don't bother me the same.
For sure.
Like, I'll read a negative comment and be like, you know where I'm at right now? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like when I was in Mecca and nobody was making me mad on Instagram, like I don't care, you know what I mean? But when you in the hood and somebody say the wrong thing, we men, you know what I mean? So it's a different vibe. But I feel like when people, like, a lot of times people be like, no, I wish Philly stuck together. I'm just like, where do they stick together? Like, Chicago, you know, even people try to use Atlanta all the time. The biggest thing in Atlanta right now is the thing with Thug and Lucci.
Yeah.
Where's all that unity talk with them? You don't hear it, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, Jeezy and Gucci. Like, but it's just like with Philly, it's just magnified. And one of those reasons is because in Philly, it's known to get so real. You know, guys, I know people that have died and done, you know, still in jail because of like beefs that started with like nonsense and rap and all that. Yeah. So it's like, that's the one thing I wish I never played a part in, but at the same time, it's such a part of my trajectory and my success. Is like we learn to live like, was like, ain't no regrets, man. It's the cut of the law. It was my plan. I don't think I'm sitting here right now in 2023 still people wanting to interview me if I didn't go through them things.
Absolutely.
So I take it like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, when K Slay first reached out to me, right? One of the things he said, he had put out a tweet that was legendary, and he was like, yo, Tone Trump never asked me to play his music. He showed up. He was always this. He introduced himself. I learned how to be like that because of all the blackballing and stuff I was going through in Philly. So when I started to navigate out of Philly, so it's like if I didn't go through that crab in a barrel BS in Philly, man, I'm not in Creed. You know what I'm saying? Like Ryan Coogler, who put me in Creed, wrote me in Creed. Right. One of the things, he was a fan of what I was doing because he was seeing me. You know why? Because I was going out to Oakland. Because I couldn't be comfortable in Philly like somebody like a Gilly who could just sit there. He had Cosmic Kev on Smash, and he, you know, all the artists looking up to him. So he didn't have the urge maybe to move around where I had to. Because if I would have sat there, they not gonna play my music. They don't like me because I'm beefing with this guy. I was beefing with so many different people.
The whole Philly,
I was beefing with people that a lot of them guys was scared of too.
For sure.
So they looking at it like, you know, like, it's like in New York, like if somebody loved Ja Rule, but they like, if I mess with Ja Rule, 50 gonna be, you know what I mean? So I was dealing with that kind of stigma where it's like I was beefing with dudes where a lot of the artists and DJs and tastemakers and gatekeepers, and I'm not going to say all of them was scared of the people, but they also, that was they people.
They fell in
I
line
was the
too.
new guy. Yeah, I was the new guy. So it's like you gotta choose between this new little wild nigga that everybody's like just, they making it look like I'm just going at everybody. And then part of it was like I definitely was drawing. I was tripping.
You was drawing,
I was tripping, but it was like they don't know that when I was on my peace, love, and harmony, they was ignoring me. So it was like, all right, I got y'all. You niggas is all punks. You know what I'm saying? And I'll prove it. And then it's like, you know, you got to prove that stuff. You know what I mean? I was drawing all of that negative attention, and it wasn't worth it. You know what I mean? People don't even know how many lawyer fees and, you know, how many. We wasn't posting them when we was catching gun charges. We wasn't posting, you know, us coming. When I was coming up New York, bro, and I'm going to them clubs and stuff like that, how you think we riding? I couldn't afford security back then. You know, I could say it now because we don't do it no more, but we was coming up this joint super dirty. And when they see PA tags anywhere, they think guns.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? So we getting pulled over, bro. You know how many times we coming from the Harlem, you know, 24-hour seafood spot, right when you make that turn from the projects to the highway, whoop, they yanking us, and we in that joint like, yo, please don't go in that hood.
We going to the island.
We going, right. And we had them nights. So, you know, I'm grateful, man.
Can we talk about G-Unit Philly for a second?
A quick second.
I got you.
Done.
Okay.
Next question. I gave you a second.
All right, no
Shout out to the whole G-Unit. Shout out to the whole G-Unit Philly. But
okay, Okay.
Moving
along. Young Jeezy. We good to talk about Jeezy?
How long? A second?
Well, give me 10 seconds for the Young Jeezy.
Got you.
How did y'all meet? How did you come to CTE? I know you was pushing that for a little minute.
The greatest hustler alive. Just like, you know what I'm saying, one thing, and to all the young artists that's on the internet right now, they all watching you. Don't ever, like, you got to understand, man, somebody like a Drake. Drake can't just go to the mall. Drake can't just go to the trenches.
Nah.
So his window to all that is his cell phone. They watching. So when you see them, you hear them change their flows and stuff like that. They watching these young boys. Like, it's somebody right now in New York that probably got 6,500 followers, and every big artist in New York is looking at his page. You know what I'm saying? Won't give him no props, won't say nothing.
That's whack.
And that's whack. But that's just our culture and that bullshit mentality. But that's how Snow came to winning me, man. At that time, I was the biggest. I was the talk. I was on every web. Like, so it was like, it was undeniable. At that time, before, when Jeezy and them first approached me, I had everybody on, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was meeting with Def Jam. I was meeting with Atlantic, with no manager, with no publicist, with no rapper friends. And I remember being in meetings with the biggest labels, and they like, what you want? And I'm saying shit I heard on interviews. You know, I'm like, oh, you know, I want control. I don't even know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? But I was hustling and navigating. But that's how Snow came along, man. And I had a record that Flex went crazy. First K Slay played it like always. I always say, you know, I say first Slay gave me shine, then Flex dropped bombs. And one day, man, this was the big time. Flex had tweeted, somebody tell Tone Trump I'm looking for him.
I remember that too.
That John and my phone, I'm like, what? And he started going crazy with Afghan. Like, imagine, bro, like you getting blackballed in your own city. They didn't play Afghan until after Flex. So like Philly radio didn't play it, and then this nigga Flex drops bombs. And
that's crazy.
Jeezy asked to get on my record, man. That's a part of the story people don't know. Like, I never was like, yo, can you do a song with me? Like, nigga hit me, was like, yo, man, send us Afghan with a space open. Jeezy gonna do it. And I was, and at the time, I was living in downtown Philly in a brand new loft, you know, independent artist. I wasn't sending nobody my demos. I was just hustling, bro. Like, every day was my last. And I sent them the record, bro, and that nigga sent it back in an hour.
That means he was
That's why I can never say nothing bad. Like, I'm probably the only person from CTE that you never can find me saying nothing negative about Jeezy. And you probably never will.
I appreciate that.
Because, you know what I mean? Like, at that time, Snow probably was getting 100 a feature.
Oh, for sure.
He still is. Because you think about it, like, he the one artist, like, you don't really hear niggas like, y'all got Jeezy on the record.
Nah.
You know, there's a lot of artists where niggas could get verses from. Snow don't really get down like that. He may be a little more friendly now because whatever, but back then, like, that nigga wasn't doing records with niggas, so it's like, I'm always gonna be grateful for that. I ran a bag up off of it. Like, I went on the road. I went on the TM103 tour. The first day back in Philly, I bought one of my old trap houses. I went to 51st Street and bought a crib. We used to just sit there and do nothing and smoke weed. Yeah. I bought that joint. Give me that joint. Yeah. You know what I mean? With a sweatsuit on, with all the white boy relatives with me. I look like Tom over there. You know what I'm saying? I bought that joint. You know what I'm saying? So mashallah. So
he's in Tom.
Shout to Snow. And I'm grateful for everybody, even like going back to like the GU and the Philly shit, man.
Yeah.
I could never deny, you know, the things I learned.
Wave. I love seeing y'all together. You know, that's from the outside looking in. I don't know, you know, the insides, but was Ali from Frankfurt. Used to be running around Frankfurt.
I just, you know, Frankfurt. Shout to Frankfurt. Yeah. I shot a commercial in Frankfurt this morning.
The jewelry store and all that. I remember
Shout to iVegas. Shout to Kodak and shout to Mike Knox. Yeah. And shout to 50 and Yayo and the whole G unit. 50 still killing it. And all them people we just mentioned, they all in their own right doing their thing to a certain extent.
Yeah, they all played a part in your story.
Yeah, they did. So it's like when I reflect, it's like you can't front. I just don't like to dwell. You know what I'm saying? Shout to everybody involved. In 2023, the space I'm in, I'm so blessed. I just completed a great album. Like, I don't got no negativity towards nobody. You know what I mean? But that don't mean I want. You know, let me stop. See, that's why I can't do these interviews no more.
You showing signs of the Worldstar Trump, man. Worldstar teased.
It's like I'll be like peace and harmony. I'm like, but man, fuck that.
That just shows the growth, but it's still.
I'm trying,
it's like
but
a fly. You gotta swat at it sometimes.
And like I always say, I go back to Islam. Like, you know, in Islam, your imam goes up and down like your battery on your phone. So some days, Monday, you know, I done hit all 5 of my prayers and I'm feeling strong and I'm around the ox and da-da-da. And then Tuesday, man, I overslept and I'm in the studio and then it's like my imam. So it's like like that with anything, man. But, you know, it's all up.
Before I want to ask you about this next gentleman, he's another gentleman that I seen you on the DVDs with back in the day. But listening to this fire project, you know, stuck close to my brain. And it was Market Street legend, but I had to retire. Keem got life, Millwall Wire. Kill Keem, man. When I first started seeing Kill Keem,
I gotta put the Pradas on for this one. I might get a little emotional.
He was running around with the Touch Money guys a little bit, but he had his own wave. And one thing I noticed by watching him in the DVDs, he was respected by all the sections. I seen him in videos with some of anybody, and he was Tone Trump's rider. Any rapper underground who came at you, he's sitting with you. Oh, I was there. Listen, that's one of your riders for sure. And to hear that he was locked up, like through the media and all that, was just unfortunate. But you know, Kill Keem, what's your history, man?
Man, deeper than rap, man.
For sure.
And a lot of people don't know, man. We both from Philly, and Keem rep North Philly because he got off the porch in North. But Keem is also a West Philly baby.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because we used to literally be right around the corner from each other. Like you say, when he was moving with Touch Money used to be on 52nd Street at a joint called The Hut. Shout to my brother Nah. Touch Money Nah.
Sure.
Damn, you really be on your
bro,
shit.
I'm a whole different Philly. That's my whole Nah.
Yeah, I mean,
Come
so
on.
my brother Nah, but at that time, I was still in the streets, and I was, you know, trapping and shit. So The Hut used to be like a hot spot. The
Hut was up.
Yeah, so I used to always tell Keem, like, man, I ain't going to that shit, man. I ain't going to that. They used to be in there doing the rap thing. But me and Keem was OT doing, you know, street business, doing OT shit. Not together, though. Away from each other. And you know how OT is. People talking about people, like you said, the pillow talking.
Sure.
Like, yo, this boy said, you didn't. So one day, we on Main Street, which is like they Broad Street, or like they 125th out there. Nothing like that. But
I get
we bump into each other and like sizing each other up. And it was like, at that point, it was like we was either going to be enemies or partner up in a certain way because we was out town. We was both doing illegal business, but in a different situation, different product, right? So it was like, yo, man, we not even stepping on each other's toes. All these clowns out here trying to instigate something with us. And instead of like beefing, like we right away was like just like popping shits to each other. Like he had like cracked a joke or something. And I'm like, nigga, like, you know, Philly shit, like just busting. And from that moment, man, like, you know, was just my brother, man. Like it was just like, it's crazy because like when I be thinking now, it's like, yo, we don't got a bunch of pictures together. We don't got a bunch of songs together because we was just living, bro.
Solid.
We was together every day. I was taking him on the road with me. Bro, he was so close to, you know, like literally I was in a meeting with Atlantic and his name came up. One of the things they used in his trial, they had used some content where he was talking and he basically was like, yo, he's like, yeah, Trump just left Atlantic Records and they was talking about me and they, you know, I mean, you know, I gotta chill out right now, so I'm positive. And then the interviewer and this nut ass nigga that was interviewing him gonna say to him, yeah, but let him know or something to that extent. And then King was like, yeah, but about my family, I'm still that. And he was talking about me, saying like they used that in court. That was very damaging. So all the young boys like, this content you shooting can and will be used against you. We've seen it over and over. They doing it to Young Thug right now. They playing his lyrics. So we experienced that early. Like, you know, I did a dumb video in Miami. I talked about the white Bentley. I'm in a Bentley pulling all these guns out. And the next day, they had a whole special task force kick down my grandma's door. I'm in Miami. They kicked down my grandma's door on 54th Street, kicked down Mossberg door, my day one. You know, bring him in. They locking everybody up about my video with them, you know, stupid video to do, you know, trying to be a rapper and be famous. But yeah, man, King, man, they used that in his trial, which is crazy. He was 100% innocent, man. Like, it was just terrible. But, you know, rats and crooked police. And inshallah, we got a lot of good rhythm with the appeal situation, but it takes time.
Absolutely.
You know, in Philly, like for murder, they give you life with no parole. But, you know, with the appeal process, inshallah, we going to bring bro home.
Yeah.
But that's my brother, man. Like, that's more than just like, you know, everything I'm doing, even with the rap stuff. Like, me and bro used to sit there back, bro. I had this little apartment on 78th Street, and we used to sit there and watch them Sub-Zeros. It was one joint in particular. Jewels, Santana was on the cover. And I remember I was like, yo, bro, we gonna be on them Jones. And King was like, man, get the fuck out of here. They ain't gonna, man, we black. And I never forget, he was in the county, and I was like, yo, bro, we on Sub-Zero. I'm telling, and it was like a Grammy. He was up the F. And then when he came home, I got to tell he had came home for King was always, that's why if you listen to my music forever, I'm always saying free King. He would come home, get locked up, come home. I remember. And he I got to take him to a sub party, man. And you talk about a nigga, man, you would have thought I took this nigga to Dubai.
Culture shock.
Bro, this nigga was in that show.
Culture shock for him.
Hey, Reem, he ain't never see that Sue's Rendezvous back then. That's back when Barty B was in that joint.
Yeah, you could throw a couple ones at her.
That was back when, like, I don't even want to start naming names. There was a lot of them back there because a lot of them girls might be like paralegals now and stuff like that. But back then, you gotta imagine, like, King was coming out the county jail. With all due respect to clubs in Philly, back then it was nothing like a suit. Like Suits was like walking in. Yeah, Onyx. No disrespect to Onyx. I made a lot of money in there, but that shit is bullshit compared. Like Suits back then was like no holds barred, bro. Like you know, you know what I'm saying? Like this was this one like BBLs was brand new. We didn't even know. We didn't know.
Niggas can spell BBL.
Right. So, bro, and I'm glad, bro. You know, as ignorant as it may sound, I was just so glad, bro, because he was on the run. Wow. And he was in that joint. You know, his family might watch my interview, so I gotta be careful. But that boy was wilding. He had a good time. And they know him. He had a great time, man. Yeah. And I was glad, you know what I mean? Yeah, because we used to really, bro, we used to be bagging up watching them joints. Like, bro, when people used to see me on them DVDs and they be like, bro, is a professional. And, you know, people see, like today I did a commercial this morning in Frankfurt, like I said, and the guy, I one-taked it, and he was like, yo, everybody else, we got it. And I'm like, I've been practicing for those moments. Like, I used to be in my crib, bro, when nobody was there, in the mirror, like, this how I'm gonna be on Sub-Zero. Like, I literally would be, bro, before I had a chain, I was picturing a chain. Like, I'm like, I'm gonna be like this. And it was almost like I was watching game tapes. I was watching Capo and all them niggas. I'm like, yo, them niggas killing it. I can't wait to get my chance to talk. That's why I was like I was so busy wanting to pop my shit. That's why I couldn't rap in the beginning, because I wasn't caring about rap. I was like, I just want to pop my shit, get girls, look fly. You know what I mean? And then I fell in love with the craft and the music and stuff. But Free Kill King, Abdul Hakim, he got a book coming out called Don't Come Here. He also got some vocals on my new album, Still Striving. I always put him on every album, talking from the jail to build his publishing up, to keep him on. Because now when you go, like, you know, if you go to like Tidal and Spotify and all them different things like that, and Kill Keem Speaks and Kill Keem Interlude, you know, keeping bro names just in the mix. I don't even think it's a song I got where at some point I don't say Free Kill Keem. You know what I mean? It's personal, man. Shout out to the killer, man. We love you. And inshallah, I'll have him on his couch one day so we could do a real, you know what I mean, MBF build.
Oh, yeah, you, like West Philly is not too many. Well, it's a few of y'all from back in the day. We ain't gonna get in. I know how you all about rapping.
Man, don't say them niggas'
We
names.
ain't gonna give them no light. But y'all got about 4 or 5 of y'all from it's not that
say
West
a couple so I'm gonna be honest.
So from the beginning, you got Caution. That's West Philly.
That's my little brother. Caution used to really be outside with me on the strip. That's my little. I love that name you said. Shout to Caution.
Come on, man. I come from that. Caution was one of them spitters.
Shout to Caution. Last time I talked to Caution, put him on the internet. He was in the county jail. And the first thing I did, send me his cash. I ain't never made $1 with him, but it's just the principle. Free little bro. I think he back home now. He trying to get his stuff back together, but that's one of the ones I love. I'm glad you said Caution.
Yeah, Caution. I mean, like I said, him, the DVDs, he was a spitter. You had Nitty. Nitty came around a little late. I peeped Nitty
Shout
back.
to Nitty.
Free Ab.
That make me think about Bach, man. My brother Bach, man. R.I.P. Bach. Bach used to push Nitty real hard. Yeah, Bach wasn't no rapper, man. He just was a legend, man.
For sure.
Master Street legend. Shout to Bach.
Yeah.
But he used to push Nitty hard. That's what I know. And Nitty, I ain't really get into Nitty like that.
He came around
Nitty
a little
always
late,
was,
too.
he was doing his thing, though.
I don't know. I think Stunt Woods from Philly?
Stunt Woods is from West Philly, from Ghost Block.
Yeah,
he just came home, too. Welcome home, Stunt Woods. He just did like a dime. Welcome home, Stunt Woods.
Yeah. And
you was in the under.
Bricks. Is he from West?
He is definitely from around the corner from me. Free, man, you naming the right name.
I'm a different type of nigga, bro.
Free Bricks,
Raw,
Free Brick of Raw, Ruby Street legend.
The whole Touch Money, I think, was West out. That's why, you know, the other.
They had some others. They had,
for sure.
You know, NH was like.
NH was, you know, he from North.
He from North.
So,
shout out to H.
I ain't one of Johnson Holmes type shit.
No, man, you might be from Philly, low key, bro.
I'm a different type of nigga.
Hey, Ali, where you get this nigga from?
I'm from couple miles
you
that
from
way.
Like Philly, Westchester.
I got a Westchester out there too.
We do. I own a restaurant very close to there. Shout out to Union Steaks.
Oh, I gotta go.
And you got to come to Union Steaks, 1733 West 3rd Street, Chester, Pennsylvania, home of the famous halal cheesesteak nachos. And inshallah, in 2 weeks, I'm opening up my first corner store, Union Groceries, about 2 blocks, also in Chester, which is about 30 minutes from Westchester. So if you ever in that area,
I gotta come. I gotta make a special trip.
We could do an episode. You know, we do part 2 at the studio. I got the studio right next door to the restaurant. I'd love to have you, man.
Hey,
matter of fact, you know what I'm doing? Matter of fact, I want to invite you now. At some point next week, I want to do like a year-end wrap-up, and I wanted to invite different podcasters, so I would love for you to come down, man.
Let's say no more.
Inshallah. You owe me one.
I'm gonna beat that. Pull up. Yeah,
pull up. Let's get it.
Philly right there.
That'll be a good look. And you'll probably be one of the only people from NY, so that'll be a good, you know what I mean, rep on it.
For the same time,
let's work.
But let's get it. I appreciate that. We talk about still striving. I want to get into your creative process. Like, what is it that gets your creative cylinders going? Is it a mood thing? Is it I'm gonna go smoke a blunt? Is it something happened? Is it natural? I left the house and I just start looking outside and I think of bars. Like, how do you come up with a project?
It's accumulation of things, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's accumulation of things. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I got one of the most beautiful women in the world laying in the bed with me.
For sure.
I look over at her. I look at her feet. I look at her hair, her eyes. I be like, damn, man.
It's mine.
It's mine. You know what I'm saying? I ride through my neighborhood. Nitty would come get me. My brother Nitty, shout to Road Nitty. Nitty would come get me, and we literally just ride through the hood. I don't live in my neighborhood no more. I haven't lived there in a long time. But to ride through and just, we'd ride through listening to like hustler music, you know what I mean? Vintage Hove, you know what I'm saying? Capo, Pusha T, Gotti, you know, classic Philly stuff. And while we riding, just looking in the hood, we turning the music up, we turning it down, the pop shit. Remember when we was over here?
For sure.
Like, you know what I mean? Like getting that energy, you know. I might hit Ream up the top, Skunk, you know what I mean? Get a vibe, you know what I mean? So it's like different things you got to do. Like, you know, for me, it's an accumulation of things. Like, perfect example, we riding through 54th Street one day, and we listen to Hove, Can I Live? And I'm rapping under it, and I'm like, Nit, I think I got something. I took my phone out, like 10-second video. I'm like, and I sent it to Ali. Remember Ali? I said, yo, remake this for me. The Ken Dean record. Let me tell you how I visualize this record. In the first verse, I said, Bird Gang, I'm like the Jimmy of my city. I told Ali, I said, I'm going to get Capo on this record. I didn't never talk to Jim about it. I don't even think, I always knew Jim and respected him. He's always one of my favorite hustlers and rappers. But never nothing, wasn't no promise, wasn't no nothing. At the time, Capo just dropped. He moving around, you know how he hustled.
For sure.
And I reached out, you know, Free Sheik Ali. You know, in that song I also say I'm a hustler and I'm also like Sheik Ali. Sheik Ali locked up. He a big top op, big dog from New Jersey, and he ran heavy with Capo and them. And I reached out to Sheik first, like, yo, Sheik, I gotta get Capo on this joint. And I reached out to Capo. Capo was like, I got you. Sure. But you know, niggas be busy. There's so many niggas I told him I got him right now, and I do got him.
It happens.
But it's time, and you know, Allah is with the patient. But long story short, manifesting that record from us riding around, listening to that whole record, me hitting my producer, yo, remake this joint, me doing the verse, the original version, I did a video and everything without Capo verse on it. And then I'm prideful being from West Philly. I'm like, man, I ain't asking that nigga again. Yeah. I asked once, I was kind of salty. Then I was like, man, let me, I reached out and Capo was like, oh, man, yo, come to the studio right now. Type shit. And I had just planned this great night with my lady, right? I'll never forget it. I read the message. I'm like, I said, how I'm going to tell her this? I walk in the room, I'm like, yo, I'm like, you know you going to be mad? I said, listen, and there's we in the suburbs of Philly. I'm like, I got to go to the Bronx real quick. This is why, though.
Real quick.
But real quick, you know what I'm saying? She like, she been around, so she ain't really like, she don't care who the rappers and nothing, but she knew what it meant to me. She like, yo, go get that record done. I go get the record done. Got to do the record in the studio with Capo. I didn't even tell Ali yet. I sent Ali a video from the studio this time now, like, yo, let me hear a little bit of Gen rap, and that nigga like, he went crazy.
That's hard.
You know what I'm saying? So when you say the process is always like that. Like CeeLo Green, you ain't mentioned that. CeeLo Green, me working with CeeLo, me working with Kevin Gates. None of them records was like, yo, let's do this record. No, it was natural, organic vibes and inspiration. You know what I'm saying?
Before we
let me say this before you say this. And this is another thing. Never had a manager, never had a publicist. Never paid for a feature in my career. Never paid for a feature in my career, and I have records with CeeLo, Jim Jones, Kevin Gates,
Freeway,
Birdman, Akon. I mean, I just was on a record. I mean, really want to talk heavy. I just was on 200 Deep, K Slay new record, the late great K Slay, and I'm on there with Run DMC, Raekwon, Ghostface, Snoop Dogg. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man.
You were unking them.
I was unking them.
Yeah, you were unk.
So, you know, I just want, and that's a sign of the perseverance and the hard.
Do you think
hustling hard and hustling smart and working like every day is your last?
I asked another artist this as we, you know, start to taper it off. Do you think you get your best work done as far as collaboration when you all in the studio together?
I know I'm wild late for asking this. What's them cans right there?
Oh, this is Legally High. This is some of our sponsors. This THC infused seltzer water.
Okay, they paid us. All right.
Yeah, yeah, I think so. They probably gonna have to pay us a little more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yesterday's what Fat Joe said.
Which one you want?
Yesterday's price.
So they got the mango. You know, we mango type of guy. Lime. Yeah.
The lime and the mango, John.
Yeah, the lime and the mango.
Man, how they people hit my people, man.
Okay,
let's figure it out, man.
Got nothing else to say. Hey.
You know, Top Skunk got the one of the only black-owned, you know, legal New York, you know, it's the legal term for it, Top Skunk. Cannabis brands as well as stores, and if they were smart, they would get with Reem.
Oh yeah, they trying to figure it out.
Oh man, move that shit, son. Man.
Oh, you gotta get Reem shit.
Hey, Top Skunk, put some shit in front of this jaw, man.
What's up,
I know you got something. Put something in front of this jaw. Reem, put a package in front of them jaws, Reem. I didn't sign nothing for that, Reem.
We gonna swap. We gonna swap it out.
Yeah, we
gonna swap info and all that. We gonna
Reem, send a logo so at least when they get edited in. Boom. You know what I'm saying? But we gonna talk to them, shout to them too, because I don't want to knock nobody hustle. But we got work something. Let's work something out.
Yeah, for sure. Listen, let's get it.
Let's get it.
What I was asking you was, do you think it's more the music? Would you rather be in the studio, organic with the artist when it comes to collaboration, or you more like, listen, I'm in this city, that city? What you feel like is the best collab recipe for Tone Trump?
I like being in the studio, especially with the greats. I mean, with everybody, even with like now, like I did let me give you two examples.
Sure.
I got a record on Still Striving called Testimony, featuring 5-time Grammy winner CeeLo Green.
Yeah.
We did that record. We at the mansion. You know what I'm saying? We at his crib. Lo got a in like rural Georgia, you know, like deep Georgia, at a huge farm. Pause. Like real farm.
For sure. Goats, cows, all that.
Maybach by the barn. You know, I'll give you a perfect example. One of the things Lo taught me when I was there, you know, it was horses on the ranch, and he said, "Yo, $100,000 a year to feed each horse.
Damn.
Think about that. So when you riding past and you know farm and you see somebody that got 19 horses, it's a bean a year to feed one horse.
Yeah.
Probably more now because he told me this years ago and everything is inflated. But we did testimony. We was binge watching. We in the crib. Shout to Shani, the whole family over there, whole family. We was binge watching. What's that show? Breaking Bad.
Oh, he brought it back.
We watching Breaking Bad. I wasn't hip to it, and Lo was like, "Yo, you know what?" I'm like, "Nah, put that joint on. I don't be in the TV. I be hustling."
Yeah, for sure.
And I like that joint. So you know how it is. You know how Netflix played every episode. We watching that joint. It was something about snitching, and organically, we was like talking something, and then he was like, "Man, I never testify, man. We bitten, we getting on." And he said, "Shit." He said, "My testimony."
Sure.
And I was like, "Damn, that's hard." And I was like, "My testimony." And then he like went somewhere, and he called me. He was like, "Yo, come over to the studio." We had a little in-house studio. I go over to the studio. He pressed play, and he had a little part that he did.
Right.
And then next thing you know, we started working on that record right on the spot. Stayed on the spot.
That's magic.
Then, you know, fast forward, that's a 5-time Grammy winner. Sure. Fast forward a few months ago, I'm in IMI Studios. Shout to IMI, you know, the biggest and best studio in New York City, Soho. You know, when you come to Westchester, obviously the Goat Lab is the best studio. Sure. If you're in the city, IMI, both Muslim owned, both my family. But long story short, a new artist from upstate New York named Ramoki plays a record for me.
Yes, he's on your
Standing on Business. You heard that record?
I heard the whole.
Right, I'm literally about to leave the studio. That's Top Skunk's son.
Okay.
But he plays me some of his beats. I'm listening because of who his dad is at first, but then I caught a vibe. Take my coat off. Yo, let me go in the booth real quick. I go in the booth. That record makes the album. I got records that didn't make this album that I could have just used because I had certain people on them.
Did the name.
I got platinum artists that I didn't use on this album because sonically it didn't fit or I just didn't like the record. You know, this project is really personal for me, bro. Like I had went off the grid for the first time in my career. I had went offline and everything for over a year. I was dealing with just mental health issues. I didn't even know I was. I was just thinking I was just chilling. But when I look back, I'm like, damn, I was dealing with some mental health shit, low key. So coming out of that and being in the studio, creating with Grammy winners and also creating with a new artist. And, you know, even when I was on my way up here, I was thinking about how I'm explaining them records and talking about our new generation. You know what I mean? Like me having a record with my homie son. To even be relevant so where I could do a record with this kid who's going to be one of the next greats, you know, and then still do records with CeeLo, you know what I'm saying?
Tough,
and, you know, I had having a Cali sounding record and being able to get Jay Stone on that record, that's not easy to do.
He's a legend.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So we rest in peace, Nip, for sure. So we, you know, for me, the emailing thing, don't get me wrong, because I got records that was the email way too, that's great records. But for me, man, I think it's nothing like just being in the stew cooking up, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. As we wrap it up and before we get to the project, let's talk about Ali for a second.
That's somebody you could talk about. Some of them other niggas, I was like, come on, man.
I get it.
But Ali, we could talk about, brother.
You said it in the beginning. You know, you touched on Ali.
Ali is the best.
Yes.
Shout out to all the producers. None of y'all are better than Ali. Ali is the best producer, the best engineer. He's super humble. You know, he's a light-skinned, curly-haired nigga from Westchester. So
he's like
he try to play, but he's so it's like, sometimes I gotta be, you know, because I'm like a light skin, dark skin nigga. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta,
you probably should have been
I gotta talk. But he's literally like, bro, let me just be clear here.
For sure.
I've been in the studio. When you talk about engineers, when I was with CTE, I got to work with the great Tony Ray. You know, I've been in the studio. I've worked with the great Ryan Leslie. You know who that is?
Do I?
Like I've been in the studio where literally I'm in the booth and Ryan Leslie is his beat, and then he'll stop and play the piano and all that shit. With Snowman right there. Like, imagine, bro, like, I'm a nigga that, I ain't gonna lie, like, Snowman was my favorite. Me and Mossberg was on 54th Street bagging up to TM. Sure. You know what I mean? So to go from that to, like, now I'm in the studio. So when I say that, 5-time Grammy winner CeeLo Green, working with him, bro, when I first went to Miami with Steve Morales, I was in the studio every day with Lil Wayne and Cash Money. I was in the studio every day with Slip and Slide had a room, so I'm in there when Plies was the biggest, when Busted Baby is out. Bro, I'm in the studio, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, I got records with Wayne that never came out. Like, that record I had with Akon and Birdman that's on streaming sites now, it's called Hands in the Sky. When I did that record, at the time I was doing those records, this is 2009.
Yeah.
I'm in the studio.
Wayne on fire.
Bro, Wayne, this is when
I was there when Wayne did
ceilings and all that.
No, not no ceilings. I was there when he did. No, I was around for some of them joints, but I was there when Wayne did the like the daddy joint, like him and his dad, him and Birdman was doing.
Sound like my daddy.
Them joints.
Yeah, those was fire joints.
Yeah, I was
That's
around for that.
me.
So I'm saying all that to say not the name, a little name dropping, but also to say that Ali is one of the most talented people out, and excluding nobody.
And you qualify.
If I had to do my top 3, he's in it. Matter of fact, he's probably in my top 2.
Wow.
And I'm talking about overall talented. Like to me, he's like a I call him Kanye East.
That's tough. This nigga from Mount Vernon. He from the same county I'm from. So that's
who else in Mount Vernon?
Oh, I'm not.
No. But who else in Mount Vernon famous?
You got Heavy D from Mount Vernon, Denzel Washington.
I'm looking for a I'm looking for a particular name.
Pete Rock.
Forget all them people. They all legends, great. But I'm trying to get one freaky
it's a
ass.
rapper?
It's a freaky nigga.
I'm not doing that. I think I got an idea who you talking about.
Oh, you trying to be on Revolt?
I ain't trying to
be on Revolt.
Damn!
All right, I respect
Shout out to the campaign. Shout out to EYL, man. I love y'all, man.
You trying to be
Hey, man. Say, man.
I don't want to get nobody else in trouble.
Yeah, I don't get in trouble, man.
But that punk, I would not. Right, go ahead.
He said, who else? But you know, he be Harlem sometimes.
He ain't from no Harlem.
It's a lot.
He ain't from no Harlem. Harlem people don't do that freaky stuff. That's some
we ain't
freaky
gonna smoke
stuff.
the nine like that though. The 71834, they got.
Hey, man, I just told you, Sue's Rendezvous. I'm a Mount Vernon bull.
That's a fact. Yeah,
Those my folks.
You got me.
I was just trying to take shots at that freaky boy.
Yeah. It's some freaks. You know, we don't condone none of that.
At all, man. He's a sucker, man. And that just showed you it's called selective politicking because it's like, you know, when that creep R. Kelly, when all that stuff, you know, like, you know, we all had jokes, and then it's like when you talk about this, you know, you talk about this punk, you know what I'm saying? Everybody just so careful with their words and stuff. And I don't want to get nobody else in trouble.
I don't get in trouble.
I'm gonna talk to him. I'm gonna talk when you come down to Philly and I do my podcast.
Sure.
I'm bringing that punk back up. Say something.
Yeah. You know, I don't get in trouble.
I believe women. I stand with the women.
Me too.
And I do know that it is situations where you know women lie and stuff like that. But some of this stuff, man. Do your homework, man. These guys is real freaks. Go look up who they big homies was. You know who put him on, right?
Nah.
Clive Davis.
Okay. I know the name.
Yeah, go look his book up. You know what I mean?
I know the restaurant. It's a little restaurant. He got a restaurant somewhere downtown, right?
What,
Clive?
the Freak Shack? The Freak Shack?
I ain't never been there, guys. I ain't gonna lie.
Pause. Change the subject.
The Freak Shack. Hey, yo. Shout out to Ali, though. Ali is from Mount Vernon.
How the hell did I get on that?
Hey,
Mount Vernon.
What kind of kinky shit, boy? Yeah.
Hey, Ali, Mount Vernon.
Listen,
Yo,
every city got a king,
money earning Mount. No, Mount Vernon, we not claiming him because he, like you said, he be trying to say he from somewhere else. So it's like we not putting him on Harlem either. We just gonna put him on Freak Planet.
He's from America.
He from Freak Planet.
Yeah, he's from the United States. Damn.
You still gonna get on Revolt.
When you speak about,
I'm gonna get you on Revolt. You hear me?
Hey,
I'm gonna get you on Revolt.
Because he just resigned from Revolt, so I'm good with Revolt. He out of there.
Yo, you right. You right.
He gone.
So you on Revolt?
Yeah, he gone.
Let's go.
Hey, man.
I was doing so good being positive, wasn't
but this the Trump that I grew up watching. So
I had to give you a little Worldstar Sony.
So I appreciate
I had to give you a little Worldstar Sony. I can't come on this joint being on my Martin Luther King joint.
Nah. Malcolm.
Talk about it.
Malcolm.
Gotta be on my Malcolm joint. With that being said, before your next question, free Palestine. Free Palestine. Free Palestine.
Sure.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
We talk about still striving, man. Let's talk about the project. I got a chance to, I don't know if I'm gonna get Ali in trouble, but he exclusively let me listen to the project.
Definitely got him in trouble.
And it sounded like
I hate when he do that, man. I hate when he do that, man. You got him in trouble. But
who is the dude on the intro that he was talking about your career and all? He was like, "Oh, you gonna make the intro now? Can we get this?"
You know what's so funny?
Who is that?
He's
from Philly.
That's C. Diddy from the realest podcast ever. That's the name of their podcast. And shout to them because they just signed a deal with Revolt. So my episode is going to be one of the first episodes in Revolt.
That's tough.
So
that's hard.
Shout out to my brother C. Diddy. That's the only Diddy I'm acknowledging.
Yeah. Shout out C. Diddy, gang. We with the Diddy gang. He getting up and
that's my brother. Shout to C. Diddy. Shout to Dan. Shout to Matt. And he did that intro, man. And it was funny because if you hear it on it, that was actually a live from his podcast, which inshallah our episode's coming out. They wanted to drop it around the album release, so it'll be out probably by the time you hear this. On Revolt, the realest podcast. They Philly based, but they global, and I'm proud of them. And it was dope because I didn't know that he was gonna say all that, but it was dope to hear it. And I jokingly said on the episode, yo, you just made the album.
You just said that. Yeah, I listened to the whole shit.
And he made the album. That's the intro of the album. So shout to Diddy. Shout to C. I gotta be careful with that.
C Diddy.
Shout to C Diddy. We might gotta change that shit, man.
Might be like, yeah.
We gotta shout to. we gotta
I can't
change
think.
that.
We think it sounds.
Shout to C Diddy. Shout to Man. Shout to Dan, man, and shout to Still Striving.
Still Striving. When you titled the project, is that you credit that to what you was going through at that time, the mental health and all that, and then still pushing through and getting the project
that
done?
was part of it, and the other part of it was because of the way my movement has transformed. A lot of my new fans, you know, they give me a lot of praise that sometimes I'm grateful for. You know, shout out to the Children's of Paradise. I just received, you know, another city citation, you know, another award this Saturday, you know, for my community work, and I'm grateful. But Still Striving is a reminder to them all that I'm still striving.
Sure.
Like, you know, Monday I'll feed the homeless, and Tuesday I'll come on this podcast, and that freak nigga Puffy.
Sure,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but I'm still striving.
Yeah,
That don't mean I'm trying to tear down no black man, because tomorrow I'm going to be uplifting somebody. You know, tonight I'm going to do something to uplift somebody. You know, like I'm not saying Reem's company by accident. That's me saying if something on here goes viral, I want them to also, you know, I didn't bring up them cans by accident. I actually was hoping one of them owned it. That's what I was really setting it up for. You know what I'm saying? So it's always strategic. So that's me when I say I'm still striving. So it's like, yeah, you know, I'm growing, I'm learning, but I'm not, none of us are. We always, inshallah, you know, Allah don't take me till he's pleased with me, but I'm going to die striving. Yeah. So Still Striving is a series that we doing now, and this is volume 1. So it's me, you know, like I say on one of the lines, you know, my mental health getting critical, street, but we trapped in the digital. You know, you know what I mean? Yeah, so it's like me telling, I'm still striving. It's like you said, you seen me on every website in 2009. A lot of those guys that was on them boxes next to me, a lot of them are dead, in jail, fell off, gave up on music, gave up on life, gave up on whatever. Some of them transitions to better things, careers, you know what I mean? Because just because somebody don't make it in rap don't mean they don't make it in life.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Tracy Lee, you know who that is? A legend from Philly. Tracy Lee is the only Philly artist I want to say got a record with Biggie Smalls. Maybe, did Charlie Baltimore have a record with Biggie? No. So Tracy Lee is the only one who had a record with Biggie Smalls, and he was a rapper. He had a record deal back in the day with D. Dot and them. Put out a great album. Had a great song with Big. Look that up, Big and Tracy Lee. And he's a lawyer now. Oh, wow. That's an example of like, you know, got out of hip hop. Howard, you know, scholar, and now he's a lawyer. So it's not all, and he's still a dope MC. He got a new album out. So, you know, shout to him. But that's just me saying I'm still striving. Like, you know, in 2023, I opened up a restaurant. I'm opening up a deli. You know, I just co-produced the #1 film on Tubi called Two Brothers. I'm behind the scenes on that. Damn. Shout to Strike Money and Strike Money Films. I have a guest role in another movie called Kings of DC, where this movie got millions and millions of streams, and I freestyled my scene, and my whole scene was talking about Allah and still striving, and to be able to use my platform and do, I'm still striving. But I may get on a podcast like this and take some shots and be honest and be like, man, and when I say take some shots, I don't mean liquor, because these people crazy. For sure. Because I ain't gonna drink no liquor, but I'll take some shots at you niggas, and that's part of the culture too. But I don't want to never just down nobody. I don't want to beef with nobody. But I also want to be on public record. You know, if something is just crazy and it's a trending topic, it's like, I'm not going to be one of them bulls that's going to be scared to say something, because I'm scared I've been getting blackballed since day one. I was talking about Puffy freak ass 17 years ago, and they thought I was just hating or clout chasing. And the things I was saying, shout to DWI. Any black man doing podcasts should know who DWI is. Look him up. I'll take you to meet him if need be. He's still doing his thing. And actually, I'm supposed to do his podcast. He's films near Wall Street. I'm inviting you to come with me, because I would love for you to meet him, being a black podcaster. But I went on his platform 15, 16 years ago, and I spoke about some of the things that Cassie is accusing Puff about. I said those things then because I had firsthand knowledge. Believe it or not, me and the nigga, it was a female, you know how that goes. Yeah, she telling me shit. I'm young, new nigga. She like, yo, the nigga.
Freak ass old nigga.
Weirdo. You know what I'm saying?
Old niggas be crazy.
Nah, not dog.
Buy the joints, ice cream. You take it to the ice cream truck. Now you,
Nah, but he even worse though.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but next subject.
Legally high seltzer water. Just when you thought you couldn't get high, they go and add 60 more milligrams of THC. They actually added a new flavor too, the raspberry acai. Emphasis on the acai. A little bit more calories, but that just means it tastes better. Now, if you don't know about Legally Highest, it is a THC seltzer water. I know for me, I like my my clothes to smell fresh. I hate smoky clothes. Like oh my God, you walk in the spot and set the fire alarm off. Everybody knows if you want your breath to stay intact, you better have a bev, and it can't be water. So this is a double bonus. You get the double bonus here, man. You can sip. Nobody's in your business. You could do this around your kids. Actually, speaking of kids, you need to be 21 or older to purchase one of these. So, if you're 20, maybe we'll get you a case of these for your 21st birthday. If you're looking to purchase some of these amazing drinks and calm yourself down, www.legallyhighest.com. Us over here at Nothing's Normal, we are part of the Polymath Network. You'll get a discount by using promo code POLY20. Well, now that we're high, let's get back into the show.
Come on, Ali. You know if I talk too long, I get brazy. I gotta get out of here.
This is the last question.
Y'all gonna get me canceled again.
Two more questions. Yeah. When it's all said and done, with all you accomplished, we learned a lot about you. Stuff I already knew and things that are new.
No, I was in the movie Creed, right?
Yeah, of course.
Wait. Oscar nominated.
Yeah, for sure.
Golden Globe winning.
Yeah.
$200 million blockbuster film.
Yeah.
The biggest movie franchise in Philadelphia history, part of the Rocky family.
What else?
I wasn't T-Money in the movie. I wasn't MC Scooter in the movie. I played Tone Trump in Creed 1 that was directed by Ryan Coogler, who did, what other movie did he do? Oh, Black Panther. Who was my scene with? Michael B. Jordan, who's like, they trying to build him to be like the new Denzel or some shit. I think I'm the new Denzel, but
he was Wallace in a Wire. I didn't even know that was
him. Right. But I was in that movie, right?
As myself. It's all about you. You was there.
Right. Golden Globe winning, right?
Yeah.
So technically, I'm like a gold. All right. All right. I want to make sure we get. Make sure we get that.
For sure. Yeah. We know.
I still get paid. I get paid for the rest of my life off of that.
Nah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's a good thing about movies. You get residuals for the rest of your life. But I tripled the bag because what I did was, and I don't always say this on camera, but this is something I want to share about knowing your business. I had more than just the one scene in Creed, but what happened was it was supposed to start with me ending my performance. I end up getting in a fight with the nigga backstage, but they cut that part out because I wanted too much money to clear certain things because you got to clear everything with a movie with Warner. So I wasn't trying to overcharge Ryan Coogler. I was trying to overcharge Warner. Right. So even something as my tattoos, they had to clear my tattoos. Or you ever see like when you're watching certain reality shows and they might cover up a Yankee hat, or they might cover up certain things.
Right.
So that's all art. That's all copywritten. That's all, I own. And I learned my lesson. I was in a video game many years ago when they did the Def Jam Vendetta. Remember that?
Yeah,
I was one of the characters in that game, and everybody was all hyped for me. And me, I'm always been a hustler.
What was your ratings?
Where's the bag? I'm a lie now and say I was 100. I was like Mike Tyson on Mike Tyson Punch Out. I ain't even care. Yeah. I went after the bag, and I went after him, and basically I didn't own any of my rights at the time. I learned from that. So when Creed came, it was time to clear everything. My tattoos. He's like, who's your tattoo artist? I got a bunch of tattoos from different people. I made my girl my tattoo artist. You know what I'm saying? When that scene first come on, my name is on that awning saying I'm performing. I own my name 100%. So many rappers don't even own their name.
Yeah.
They think they do. They don't know the proper way to trademark, the copyright, the investing to do. So artists, make sure you own your name. Own your domain, even if you don't have a website yet. Just buy it once you get it. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to make sure I mentioned that I was in that movie. I did mention I opened up a restaurant, the number one cheat in Delaware County. There you go. Okay, I just gotta make sure we properly splash.
What you said something with the nachos, the halal?
World famous halal cheesesteak nachos. Please come by. The best salmon cheesesteak in the world. Of course, the classic Philly cheesesteak. Everything halal. Everything made with love. Right next door is MDF Enterprise, where I'm doing a program to teach children. I'm gonna bring people like Ali down to teach them audio engineering. Have you come teach them podcasts. Have the white boy come teach him about credit and shit. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? we gonna do everything. Bring the top skunk down and teach him about now. Y'all don't gotta be getting locked up for selling weed. You can actually get a building. There's different ways to get grants and different things. We gotta share these resources, and that's what I'm using my building for. I could have bought another watch. I could have bought a Rolls Royce. We went and bought buildings, and so we can go back. I did a lot of dumb shit in the early part of my career. Off camera and on camera, and now we still striving and we trying to right those wrongs. And it starts, like I said, charity starts at home with me being a great father, a great man, a great husband, and then outside of that, me being a great leader in my community, a real leader, not just an Instagram leader.
Yeah, for sure.
So and I'm striving to be that.
For sure.
Still striving.
Last question I want to ask you. You know, this is the Nothing's Normal podcast. When you hear those two words, nothing's normal, what's your definition of that when you hear that?
Bismillah. Nothing's normal. The first thing I think is, you know, being extravagant. You know, everything is, you know, with me, everything is calculated. You know what I'm saying? Before I came to New York, you know, deciding to wear this hoodie, you know, that scarf and hat combo. It's cold as shit outside, but knowing I wanted to start the interview with the Prada glasses, I just look extra handsome in them. So that's nothing normal. Like, I know you interview a lot of ugly niggas, so I wanted the best way to stand out was making sure my locks was perfect. A lot of guys from our era, they going bald now. I'm so petty. I just grew long hair just because I knew I could.
Damn. That's that.
You know what I'm saying?
That's why they don't like you.
I said right when I said all these niggas getting these baldies and all that. You know what? I'm gonna grow locks.
The whole Philly ball.
You made it about Philly. I didn't even do that.
Nah, we ain't making it about Philly. I had to sneak some in there, you know. But yeah.
Only nigga ever went bald intentionally was Jadakiss. The rest of you niggas is really balding.
Yeah.
Jadakiss and who was the nigga? Maybe Jordan. I don't think Jordan. I think Jordan probably could have at one point, but no, man. But nothing's normal. Like, I don't believe anything's normal. You know what I mean? Like you said, when Reem brought the food in, I ain't say that was Chinese food. I said that's halal Chinese food. Yeah. That's not normal. Yeah. These Gunzini jeans, they not normal. Yeah. I had them before they came out. Next year this time, you're going to hear every rapper rapping about them. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's not normal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's lighting in the studio. The Goat Lab, Ali studio used to be across the hall. He went and got this joint. You know why? Because this ain't normal. This joint bigger. There's more room. We couldn't have did this setup over there.
Nah.
So it's not normal. It's about upgrading. So when you say nothing's normal, it's about being extravagant, and there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes as black people, you hear niggas always talking about, yo, you need to be humble. Man, fuck that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You tell your fucking self to be humble. Yeah. You know what I mean? We show humility when we give back. We show humility in the good deeds we do that we don't post on Instagram. You feel what I'm saying?
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Did I mention I fed the prisons last week? I didn't mention that. Yeah, when we talk about making an impact, when you say music, film, sports, I just partnered on a professional basketball team in Mexico.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? And a minority owner. Absolutely.
Okay.
And we looking for talent. And you can start in Mexico, and then we have some high level leagues over there. We in one of the entry level leagues. Working in Tijuana and different things like that. But getting into sports, getting into the restaurant, bro. I don't even know how to cook. Only thing I could cook really is like oodles and noodles, scrambled eggs, kinda.
Cheese.
Yeah, like little bullshit. And I own a restaurant now. Mm-hmm. Believing, trusting my resources. On my way up here, I spent an hour on the phone with my brother Mike, who owns Halal Bros in New York. Make sure y'all visit Halal Bros. I got ownership in that too, mashallah. But he's the first person to teach me the restaurant business. And he gave me so much game on my ride up here today. I'm literally like in school. Mm-hmm. So when you say nothing normal, it's nothing normal about being born black in America.
That's a fact.
We are born down by 50, bro. Yeah. So any black man, like when I see you doing this podcast, this is amazing.
Appreciate that.
This isn't normal. When I see the brother who came in with us, bro, I don't want to say his name wrong. That was filming. Rochelle, my son from the bird. Shout out to Shelly. My man over here that's on the screen. What's his name?
State your name, man.
Angelo could be somewhere doing bullshit right now. We all over this joint trying to do something great. That's not normal. You know what I mean? Who just walked in over there? Don't try to hide.
Yeah,
Who is that?
Jalen.
She could be anywhere in the world right now. She in here. She picking up game. She hearing things. That's a lady over there. My fault when that freaky talk with Puffy. I didn't know a lady was in here. You from my... Oh, so you know you a freak, Puff. Yeah. She knew about you before us. Her daddy told me. Her daddy, don't you go to that studio. I don't give a damn if Mason and Locks is in there. I don't care. I don't want you in there. You know that boy's a freak.
That boy,
so she knew before us. So shout out to her. Shout out to her and her family. How the hell I get back on that? Get me out of here, man. Listen.
Nothing's Normal podcast, man. Tone Trump, man. Clap it up.
Oh, I got one more thing. I got one more shout out, man. I want to shout out Golden Dreams Essentials. The #1 can hold on. Can I make a call real quick?
Yeah, make a call. Let's listen. It's all
Let me pop my shit.
Yeah, pop That's what Philly niggas do. Nobody pop it like Philly. Philly and Greenberg niggas. Nobody pop it like us.
Pop my shit real quick.
I like the way you try to slide your hood.
We pop that shit. I ain't gonna lie.
Nigga try to slide his hood.
We get a lot of our shit from.
Nigga said Philly and Greenberg, nigga. Wait, where we going? Wait. Where's Greenberg? I need some confirmation on that. I need a map quest.
It's probably just me and a few of my guys. Shout out to GBA.
Yo, before I end this podcast, I need you to say real quick, what's the #1 candle company? I need them to know because I'm in here popping my shit. I got the mic near you. They can't see you. Just say real quick, what's the candle company real quick?
Golden Dream Essentials.
Golden Dream Essentials. Did you make the Instagram page yet?
Yeah, but I didn't.
Don't worry about all that. Don't worry about Golden Dream Essentials. That's the one thing the studio is missing. We need them Golden Dream Essential candles in here. They the #1 candles in the world. I'm gonna get y'all some. I'm gonna get everybody in here some. But this is a new business I'm super proud of that my queen is doing. So I cannot get off this joint without saying that. So Golden Dream Essentials, and that name is beautiful because it's from our children. My young baby, we call him the golden child. He got blonde hair. And then the middle baby, we call him Alim the Dream. So that's where the golden dream come from. And these candles is essential.
Oh, we can't wait.
But I'm wrapping up. Reem just bought that halal Chinese food. But I'll call you in a minute. Let me go this fine. I gotta get back to work. I got you. So yeah, but you know, charity starts at home. So you gotta make sure the family is straight. And I'm the biggest in the world because of God and because of my family. So Allahu Akbar. Thank you for having me, man.
We appreciate you, man.
Come on, man.
Tone Trump.
I don't know who ever been on the show before, but we just upgraded this whole joint.
You just boosted that. You just boosted the algorithm.
The biggest in the world.
So yeah, we appreciate
Would you say the original algorithm?
The original algorithm, boy.
You know, Easy, my dog. I gotta call Easy my Easy.
Shout out to Easy, but I gotta keep it 100.
Yeah, Easy got a battle coming up too, man. Kick that boy ass, man. You already know what it is, man.
Geechee.
No, he about to battle, man. We ain't talking about that right now.
I hear you.
He won that one too. You know, I'm
wild out, but you know,
I'm geographical, bro.
Yeah,
I'm geographical. I don't care what y'all know.
Hey, what you think?
I don't care what y'all know. It's Easy undefeated. Easy undefeated in my book.
Easy a legend. He went on a legendary run and never did a run like that. He
undefeated in my book.
Okay, shout out to Easy, man. I like him and Reed joint too, though.
I'm overly biased. Yeah, they both won that.
They both won that.
You know what I'm saying?
Was snapping.
That's my brother, legend.
Yeah.
Shout out to Reed.
That's another original algorithm ball too. But we talking to Tone Trump.
Hey. Yo, and that's another thing. Be on the lookout. Tone Trump, Reed Dollars, produced by Ali the Greatest. So yeah. Oh, Tone Trump, Easy the Block Captain. So they my niggas.
Yeah.
So, Philly. Let that be clear. You know, to survive and thrive in that city, you have to be special. So both them brothers and all them brothers, even the niggas I don't like, man, to make it out of that city, you gotta be special. So even the niggas I don't like, corny ass niggas, song fans, like shout out to everybody, man. It's all love and just a message. Like I always try to leave with a positive message, you know, to everybody listening, man. You know, every time I get on one of these platforms, my goal is to educate, to enlighten, and to entertain.
Right.
So we want to have fun, but we also want to leave y'all with something good, man. And I just want to say to all the young, black, brown, and even a few of you white boys.
Yeah, there's two.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I just want to say to the youth, period, man, to my young Spanish brothers, my young brothers from wherever you from, man, never underestimate the importance of treating people the way you want to be treated. You know, like he said in this interview multiple times, yo, man, you still doing this. And a lot of the guys, it was guys who could rap 1,000,000 times better than me, but they didn't know how to treat people. They didn't know how to be grateful. And in Islam, Allah says, if you are grateful, I will give you more. I am the most grateful human being on earth. So to all my young artists, my young entrepreneurs, I don't care if you got 1 follower or 1,000,000 followers, you treat your customers, you condition them to buy and support you monetarily, but you treat them with love. You treat them with respect. The reason why I'm able to talk the way I want to talk and carry it how like I carry it, I don't have the most fans, but I got the best fans in the world. And I don't got to play nice with none of these suckers because my supporters love me, they understand me, and I appreciate them more than anything. So I thank Allah for them, and I encourage all my young people, even the mistakes I made when I was coming up and I was dissing Cosmic Kev and all of that, that's not smart to do. So I don't encourage no young boys to do that. You respect every DJ. You respect every platform. You know, like I told you, when I was first on Worldstar, I didn't even know it was Worldstar, but I was respectful.
Sure.
And then when it became the biggest website in the world, I'm Worldstar Tony. So treat people good from day one. There's so many people I seen artists come up from nothing to something. So many. You know what I'm saying? French Montana. I remember when French was trying to get on.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
In that mix.
So all of them dudes, man, you know, Cardi B, one of the biggest artists in the world now.
Yeah.
So humble beginnings. So treat people good, man, and be grateful.
I love y'all. Assalamu alaikum to the Muslims, the
Where can they
top
follow
out,
you?
the biggest. They already know. They see the pretty face. They see the blue check that I didn't buy.
Yeah.
How do
Oh,
you,
damn, okay.
you know what I'm saying?
No clearance
So,
rack
like,
verifications? You ain't-
Nah, man, I'm the biggest in the world, man. But make sure you follow the top. Everything is my name. No freaky underscores, none of that. Just Tone Trump, sound like it's spelled.
Yeah.
Follow Ali the Greatest. Follow the whole movement, man, and follow
Nothing's Normal podcast.
Nothing's No More Podcast, the
Sure.
biggest.
Greenleaf Multimedia. Let's get
Shit,
it.
Green Leaf.
Love.
Let's win.
Yo, I appreciate you. That was hard.
Come on,
That was tough. We did that.
man.
That was one of those.
No, we ain't come to play.
Yeah, nah, we ain't come to play.